once they get Roshan, things are going to go well for them. Whereas for Execration, they don't have the luxury of killing Roshan easily with their lineup, but
Not
they
at all.
do, on the other hand, kill heroes very well with the Rolling Thunder, Sonic Wave, and the Clinkz running around. So they are going to be looking to stop that from happening and stop Boom from killing the Rosh.
Running in. He's got eyes on Palos, but there's actually more heroes here. Impalement darts are going to slow him here a touch, but that leaves Jabs here completely unbothered. Still, though, the control, will it be good enough with just the Hawk, huh? I'm not so sure. Let's see, it's going to jump onto Shanks again, so Jabs will shift priority over. That Hawk might latch one more time, but he dares not dive here nearly to the tier 2 tower. Maybe realizing he's gone too far already, but he's got Zhao here to cover him with that Star Storm.
So
Nice little
who
3
took
on
the
3
better
skirmish.
trade? Wait, look at their hit sheet. Probably, I think Boom won the trade slightly.
Yeah, Shanks is pretty worse for wear, I'd say.
Yeah. But at the same time, teams also kind of, he had to, I think he had to use 2 tangles. So they're going to have to send more regen to the lane. But this mid lane right now, Queen of Pain, Kanka, this is going to be a very contested lane. Both of the players, Armel and Lewis, they are going to try to push each other out of the lane, with the Tidebringer and the Shadow Strike. It's very rare that you can see a melee hero kind of fighting back, against Queen of Pain.
Yeah, one of those lanes that actually makes it a little bit difficult, right? The constant, quote-unquote, free damage
is very different because you kind of have a lot of sustain, so you can stand in the lane. But Kanka, you kind of out-harass the Quab, which is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, we'll see how things are going here. I think this mid lane is going to be very key. I think in general, it's not so much about Armel dumpstering the lane, just making sure that he doesn't let Lewis pop off, and that Armel is able to connect with his supports in this early game. As this is game 1, of course, Elimination BO3 series, but I think these teams not really thinking about elimination. Their eyes on the grand prize here of taking a trip to Hamburg later this year. Talon awaits the victors of this BO3 series for a BO3 to be played immediately after this one. Only 1 slot left for TI, man, and I mean, these are all strong teams. I'm excited. We got a lovely day of SCA Dota ahead.
Yeah, hopefully, it's not too much of a storm, For that to happen, the teams need to kind of have even footing on the lanes. Because yesterday, in some of the games, we saw one side just rolling over in the lanes, and the game kind of becomes a very one-sided affair, So we'll see if it actually happens. So you see Armel once again and Lewis just fighting to the death. Queen of Pain has her bottle up and running. She's going to want to pick up runes. And in terms of CS, she is slightly ahead of the Kanka right now, 11 and 6 to the 8 and 5. So he'll be pretty happy about that. But as you get more levels on Kanka, I think the lane will get better and better. I think at level 5, you're gonna be able to slowly beat and push the Quab out. But before that, the Quab has some slight edge in the lane with the Shadow Strike harass.
Yeah, 2 points in the Shadow Strike for now. Is this one of those lanes, Winter, where you consider the 3rd point in Shadow Strike to just be able to keep maintaining the pressure?
Maybe, but I'm not sure though, because at level 5, I think the Kanka is stronger than you,
Right,
so maybe you need to consider that and try to just push out waves and control runes. I think a lot of it is going to be runes for the Queen of Pain because the Kanka doesn't have a bottle, so he doesn't really want the runes as much as the Quab. So you have to push out your lanes with at least 2 points in the Scream to be able to control the runes.
Gotcha. Sometimes you gotta like skill up for the macro game a little bit more, right? Be able to farm some camps and all that good stuff. That's what
I would say that nowadays, I think the lanes are, if you lose, you have more time to recover from it. I think before it can be a lot more punishing when the map was smaller, because now you have a lot more extra camps. So after you lose your lane, I feel like you have a lot more opportunities to recover. It's not as bad as before where you feel like you lose the lane and you just get snowballed over. Remember the patch where the Gladiators and Liquid, they were really, really strong. They played really fast. That's when they
remember.
Yeah, they ran over the lane and they just, kick you out of the map wherever they go. So right now it's difficult.
Whoa. This is incredibly aggressive. Armel does not have a Torrent or an X mark, so they got to get the damage in.
Blink
Jadwell leaping on forward in the 2nd Starstorm. Oh, the Starstruck Facet collects the kill there as CML avoids the Torrent here. Armel.
Oh, is he going to get
the second kill on the Ringmaster and the perfect deny. Lovely stuff there from Boom, who rotate both supports for the 4-minute water rune. They actually kicked that off there with a nice X mark into Arrow. So that's the very first connection of this support trio that we're talking about. Or sorry, this trio in general for Boom that we're talking about. That looked excellent.
Yeah, it was very, very nice by Daniel. He had a good laugh there, after denying the Kanka. That's a very, very early move. I don't think anyone expected there to be 3 heroes at 4 minutes in mid lane.
Yeah.
Usually we say that happens at minute 6 at the first power rune. But Boom, bringing the aggression early on. I mean, I think the purpose of that move was just mainly because the Corp had low resources. They just didn't want her to refill her water rune with the bottle. Elos here, taking a beating. He is going to go forward aggressively.
Yeah.
Wow.
Paying the Beast. Very effective against the Beastmaster, as the name would suggest.
You are not fighting Clinkz for sure. I mean, this hero just does way too much damage. You run when you see Clinkz.
Clinkz with that Falcon Blade early, right? So he fights pretty darn effectively. Yeah. Band of Elven Skin, 15 wand charges. Palos is very comfortable in this lane.
Yeah, Mirana is already lurking around mid. Again, he wants to land another X-Mark arrow combo. Rune 6 mid.
Shanks is here.
Alright, Corp's gonna get one. This is huge for her.
Level 6. It's an Arcane Rune as well. So you may be motivated to take this point in the Sonic Wave. However, in the river, the supports are bullying a clown. Got this escape back here ready to go. Lewis makes the jump on over. Sonic Wave skill point has been taken, so he's going to commit that now onto Tim's. Foul play will save his life for a mere second as the Boar Poison, Microd from the top lane, nearly enough for the kill onto CML. Oh, John Wells going to have to run into the Rose Pit. Oh, the whoopee cushion. Ah, bad kitty. Ah, that cat's going to get him. Nice lead, though.
Just like so annoying, like the strongman tonic buying them so much time. And now General, he is out of lead, so the Kitty is gonna get punished here.
No jumping on the roast.
Yeah, he's gonna die here.
I think Shanks instantly canceled his TP there, by the way. It looks like because his TP's on cooldown, and he didn't have one when he died. So nice TP cancel there by Shanks. Immediately gives him no opportunity to escape.
Yeah, you were talking about how many points in Shadow Strike. Corp has 3, But if you look at the net worth, I don't really feel like he has really pressured the Kunkka, in a way where he would hope for, going for 3 points in the Shadow Strike. Kunkka is like, he's doing okay, net worth wise. He's top of the Radiant side. He is around 300 gold ahead of the Queen of Pain, so I don't think he actually cared that much, against the Shadow Strike.
Bottom. Tim. Gonna come through the twin gate. Foul play will catch up. They've actually got wards on the exact same spot here, and yeah, CML is gonna realize it now, go for a quick D ward.
Yeah, and we are back up here inbound. Armel wants to make the first move to kill the Pango before he has Rolling Thunder. Let's get that.
Done, Armel. Oh no, the creep. It's gonna be the bodyguard here. It's not gonna matter. The flag bearer creep tanking the arrow, but the damage too high out from Armel. Very nicely timed rotation, as you said, Winter, right before level 6. But because you abandon the mid lane, Lewis, he is going to have free reign over that haste. He is looking to fight.
Bounty runes. Better make sure you pick that up. But so far, Execration, they have the rune again. So it's going to be hard for you to pressure the side lanes now, knowing that the Queen of Pain has a haste rune. When Queen of Pain has a haste rune, everybody is like on high alert,
Ooh, nice arrow there, Zhao. Does he have the auto attack damage? Absolutely. Well played. Tino leaps in. He's just shy of level 6 now. Just needs what? 15 experience, 25 experience? That kill really making a difference there. They're going to go for an X-Mark play onto Lewis. A ton of damage here. They don't have a boat, but Tim's ready with the Shackles and the Hex if they needed it. There's going to be... Was that the Hex? It was. That's Shackles now here onto Palos. Armel doesn't have a whole lot of lockdown, though. And here come the Execration supports, eager for revenge. The loss.
Man, even the Helm creep is here to help.
I was going to say, the Helm just got purchased about 30 seconds ago, so Jabs puts it to work. And now nobody's up top lane, so he's even starting to siege just a little bit. just a little bit.
When we see, once again, Boom demonstrating the power of this trio, the Kunkka, the Shaman, and the Mirana, and now they're going to keep moving with the smoke. Palos already felt like he was forced to rotate. He didn't really accomplish much, but you see the pressure on Execration side, right? They want to stop this trio from creating too much havoc. And right now they're moving again, this top tier 1 tower.
Are they going to see Palos?
They're going to have to bring their numbers to defend here. Pango needs to come for this fight if they want to defend.
Fantastic warding. Palos. Oh no, Palos. He's going to run right into this gank. There's a roar ready. TP's responding up from Execration to the tower. Sonic Wave buying Palos a good time, but the combo, it's just too strong. They're into the torrent and the boat. He goes down. Tino letting loose the Rolling Thunder, running after jabs. They've got detection there, but they take him down even through the Moonlight Shadow. A 1-for-1 trade. But a death there onto the Clinkz. Not a hero Winter who wants to be falling behind early.
Nope, not at all. Clinkz, you gotta be on the front foot. You gotta be on the gas, pressuring your opponents. And now it's Boom
him stepping on the gas.
Yeah, Boom is once again pressuring and stepping on the gas. They're gonna kill this tower.
Into X. Wheel of Wonder's pretty good. Didn't catch Armel, but it doesn't look like it'll matter. They tried to deny him. It actually looked pretty close
there.
They got
the tower, right? Yeah, they got the tower, at least. Shaman last hit the tower there with the wards. But Boom is going to be still pretty happy about what just happened. They got the tower, they use the Wheel of Wonder. I think this is going to be looking really good for Boom the next couple of minutes. If they can actually now move towards top and help Jabs open up the top section of the map.
Okay, so a slight adjustment in the build by Palos. It looked like he was just going to naked rush the Deso, but it seems like he's changed his mind. I think he went back for treads, which I think he needs, by the way.
It's because they were fighting too much, and he felt like he needed to join faster, or he needed to help. There's such too much pressure, so he doesn't want to risk it, right? Because the treads gives you a little bit more survivability in the early fights if you join them. Whereas it's going to slow down your Desolator timing. But if you feel like you cannot afford to do that and farm to the Desol effectively, then I think the Treads will be a much wiser option here, which he has chosen. We'll only know with time whether it is the right option. But Execration now slightly behind against Boom, and they're going to have to find a good fight real fast because they are the ones that have the aggressive lineup, whereas Boom has the slower and much more scaling potential lineup.
Exactly, and they're starting to hit on some of these early timings, right? Jackie's through the Twin Gate with the full Vlad's offering. The Beastmaster with the Helm Creep has whittled down the tower. It will go down.
Yeah, it's also Roshan, Once the Roshan moves towards top lane with the Vlads and the Helm, it is going to be Boom's Roshan to take. On top of that, they can also commit the Serpent Wards, if they want to do it faster. The Execration, they have to strike now before the day goes dark.
Okay, they're gonna maybe have a few minutes to farm in anticipation of that, as you say. And Tino, by then he'll have this diffusal online. That's been lacking here. That extra damage out from the Pango. It's an interesting build, right? Because sometimes we've seen the Pangos go for like the Vessel builds, right? Not necessarily always diffusal.
Yeah, Vessel build against a hero like Morphling seems like a reasonable approach too.
And
but Diffuser is kind of like more scaling potential because you're stronger later. Vessel is like if you get it and you don't get you get a couple of kills with it, then you feel like, oh my god, I am farming so slow, I'm gonna scale pretty badly. I think that's probably the thought process behind it. But then again, I kind of feel like you might be on the right path here. If they don't have a Vessel now, it's gonna be so difficult to take down Jackie on the Morphling.
Yeah, I'm concerned about where the damage is going to come from. We have to see some pretty big Sonic Waves, basically, and some big Rolling Thunders. The spells
is
have
going
to
do the bulk of the damage.
I agree, but I love these tanky, Admiral Kunkka's Rum lineups into that kind of burst early. It's very effective in my opinion at diffusing that sort of early lead, that early damage you can do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Clinkz is just insane DPS. That can very well be true.
I think Clinkz is the if I'm not wrong, I saw someone did a demonstration. Clinkz is the highest single target DPS hero. If you're allowed to stand and use your spells and right click, no one actually out damages Clinkz, you know. Clinkz is insanely good at that, you know. He's just not so reliable. Let's say you compare him to I think a Gyro will be a fair example. Gyro is more reliable because in a team fight, flat cannon, you're most likely going to do your damage. But for Clinkz, you are going to need to set up yourself in a good position, and you need to wait for certain spells to come out. So there's a lot of factors, you know, involving for Clinkz to do well in the team fight. That's why the hero is not. I don't think you see the hero as often. Recently, you see the hero more, but I think historically, Clinkz has always been considered an unreliable hero.
Yeah. By the way, I think the reason that Tino did not go for the urn is because Shanks is actually going to go for the vessel this game. Decent item build up here for the Rubik, who does need the stats really for that
It's slow
survivability.
though. The thing is, right, when you talk about vessel, it is an item that I would want to get as soon as possible. The later and the slower you get this item, it kind of just feels like it doesn't do much, you know. Like it's just ineffective, you know, especially if you get it on a support.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that, especially when you're not exactly snowballing a game. Right now, Execration down 5k. As Winter, as you say, Nightfall hits. This is not a BKB TP away. It's actually going to be a Roshan play for Boom Esports. As they head into the pit, they drop the Serpent Wards. They have the Helm of the Overlord creep ready to go. Execration, you saw them smoke and try and find a fight down bottom. They're going to be forced to try and fight into this, and they're far too late to contest the Roche. Aegis now into the inventory of RML. Sean Well removing the vision. Lewis, he's got himself a blade mail, still looking for a fight, but it's going to be the Rubik caught first and killed by the boat. The Hex, they actually catch Lewis here into the roar. Fantastic save from CML. They're on the escape back. Buys Tino some space and time to get in there with the Rolling Thunder, but where's the damage going to come from? Okay, a regen running for the Quap allows her to stay in this fight. Jabs trapped onto the cliff. You're forced to stare into the Wheel of Wonder as Palos is able to join the fight. He snipes Tim's down. Jackie, though, in exchange, takes down Palos as Lewis eventually able to find that harangued Jabs Beastmaster. A 2-for-2 trade. Considering the Aegis gain, I think Boom are okay with the outcome here.
That is actually a very, very good trade for them. Like killing the Clinkz. I think the Clinkz is. I think he has more value than the Beast here. Not to say the Beast is useless, but in terms of how the game is going to play out, Clinkz is the one that's going to carry the bulk of the damage on Execration. So trading your Beast for the Clinkz is definitely very, very good there for Boom. And Jabs he got a little bit unlucky. I don't know if you saw in the team fights. He got bounced. He almost got bounced down the cliff because he was trying to stand on the edge. But meanwhile, Lewis.
Wait.
Oh no, we've seen this like so many times already.
Do they have enough though? I'm not sure. Armel? Oh, the chicken fingers, was it? No, that was regular Hex. Whoa. Tim's actually hit him with a right click, bro. The blink dagger Tim's.
Yeah, Shaman just has so much disable, you know, with the chicken fingers. There's no escaping that. And just again, you know, we see the power of the Mirana with the X mark and the shackle.
Exactly. And I have to say, I've been a big fan of Big Snake, of Massive Serpent Ward, but considering the match I saw yesterday of Team Nemesis, who was it, Jing, I think, right, on the Shadow Shaman, and here seeing Tim's today, I'm getting more and more convinced that Chicken Fingers is really the one true facet for this guy. It gives you that, like, solo pick-off potential. Well, not solo, like the solo setup potential.
Yeah. I mean, the extra small little bit of X duration is so helpful. It can be between your teammate coming over on time or the target just running away.
Check this out. They're going to try and defend top as well. Armel, Moonlight Shadow gives him cover, so he actually does manage to collect here onto Palos. Palos jumps away, doesn't take damage to the float, but still stunned up, I believe, by the arrow of John Well.
Yeah, this game is going to be over very soon at this rate. I mean, I know it's early, but because of the nature of the lineup. Oh my god.
Nice.
Jabs is going to escape against 3 heroes.
Oh my god, Jabs is just going to farm. He knows he's got his team rotating to the gate.
Decided to clear that camp there after knowing that he just got ganked.
I think he was daring. His team was running through gate to reinforce him. So I think he was like, I dare them to. You know, he's tanked 2,300 HP. And now Tino, what do you got against this, man? Stolen Torrent is pretty darn good. That's just a good start. Now with the Wheel of Wonder to follow up, Tino, 20 HP, gets up the Rolling Thunder. Can they do anything else? They did kill Jackie. The Sonic Wave, I think, caught him off guard. Tino, he's trapped here in a spot that I've never seen, but the fight's still looking good, especially with the stolen Serpent Wards now. That's going to be the Aegis. Armel respawning in the middle of all these Serpent Wards, but he's still fighting through it. He'll be able to get the kill onto Lewis, but he struggles to escape the mass Serpent Wards as Tino, just living here on that 20 HP earlier, managing to make a big difference in this team fight. A 4-for-1 trade, 5-for-1 through the Aegis. Execration, they fight back.
Yeah, very, very good team fight there. They didn't have the raw though. Maybe that is the reason why Boom kind of felt like they were lacking something. They were just running up the ramp there. I'm not sure how Jackie actually died. I think he got hit by, like you said, the Sonic Wheel or something, and he just got killed. But that was very uncharacteristic from Jackie, you know. I feel like he had a free game. You shouldn't die just like this randomly.
Into the Wheel of Wonder, Winter.
Yeah, you shouldn't just like die randomly in the team fights like that, you know. We're gonna see another look. I'm not sure if you're gonna.
Oh no, this is this is the right one.
Yeah,
here it
this
is.
one. So they start with the Hex. It's a stolen Rubik Torrent there onto 3 heroes. Very, very nice. So Jackie got caught by the wheel. Yeah, and just the Sonic Wave not even landing on him. He already died.
Yeah, honestly, shout out CML. That was a fantastic turnaround on the Ringmaster play there.
And again, you know, Rubik stealing the Shadow Shaman wards there, you know. So he got 2 fantastic steals, the Torrent and the wards.
Okay, but in trouble now this time. It's going to be Lewis. No opportunity to blink away. There was an arrow even after him. As they will pick up the kill. That's going to be just a well-timed gank. Honestly, that ward placed after the gank. Nicely done. Palos is going to have to skirt away. He's going to try, actually, for this Wisdom Shrine, but I think he's going to think better of it.
Yeah, no. Too risky. And he doesn't have BKB, you know. If he gets caught, he is going to die for sure.
He might still get caught. He's going to show on the wave. He's got a TP scroll at the ready. Serpent Wards were planted up top. He's too fast. They can't.
Yeah, probably not going to get him. He's way too fast, but like you said, the wards are going to do a bunch of damage here to the tower. Boom are in no rush, you know, to do anything. I mean, despite taking a bad fight just recently, I don't think there's much problem for them to just go back and farm here. They should not rush. They shouldn't
chasing down
be too
Clinkz,
worried.
Though. They want to fight. They want Clinkz. Good positioning here by Palos. Good pathfinding. He's going to be picked up on any of that sentry ward. Armel picking things off here with the X mark into a torrent. TPs are coming, but they're long and they're pretty far from the tower. So he'll be all right.
That was not an easy kill, and there's no board as well. But here we go. Execration. They are coming in with a smoke. They want to fight. They want to take control of the game.
Full Vessel, full Kaya, and Sanj is John Well trying to leap away. 2 leap charges into the mechanism. Still not enough. He will die underneath his tier 1 tower, but not a bad hero. Tank the smoke gank for Boom.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower.
They don't have Roshan to take Execration. They just kind of have to farm the enemy jungle for another kill here. I mean, this Miranda kill is nice and all, but they have to look for a bigger kill. I think Morphling is the one that you want to find.
You get caught. Palos, thinking about joining this fight, will open now up onto Armel, but he's got a Blade Mail. That's not an appetizing target here for a Clinkz. Not at all.
Yeah,
Shanks will die here for the boat.
So 1-for-1 trade. Supports the other trade. And Jack's
Ancient Black Dragon.
gonna lose his dragon.
No, I think he dominated another creep. Yeah. He took the Satyr Mindstealer. He said, no 250 gold for you.
Yeah, but still, you want to keep the dragon, so he has to find another dragon. You want the dragon or the, I think, a Granite Golem right now. Actually, could the Prowler be nice? Because they kind of have a lot of like cooldown spells, yeah.
The Prowler?
The one that has the aura, the Time Warp.
The Ancient Ice Shamans. The time warp aura.
Yeah, the time warp aura.
The time. Yeah, no, that one's super nice too. I love that creep, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really see people use it as much. Normally you just see either the dragon or the granite.
Tino. Oh no, he's been caught by the Hex into the chicken fingers. They do have the box save for him though. Tino, he's got spells to use. He's gonna get rolled up though. Didn't even get the roll up out. But
okay.
Boom deciding they have to bail from this fight. A BKB TP away from jabs there.
I think that was like very, very dangerous play, for them to try and get the kill, because it was just two of them, and now Roshan spawns bot, and without the roll, without the fear of them stopping the roll, now Roshan becomes possible for Execration. Seems like Boom, they're probably not going to contest this. It's way too difficult for them to come to the bottom side, but it's not that quick,
No, it's not too fast.
Yeah, not as quick as
fast enough.
Killed the first rush.
That's going to be an Aegis on top of Lewis. Palos nearly at his BKB. But I think they're happy to give the Aegis to the Quap, who has been doing a lot of face tanking here.
Yeah, she also has the bondage facet, so she is a lot more tankier than the Masochist facet. So being an effective frontline with the blade mail. This build is kind of growing on me, Going for the bondage and then you go blade mail. Even though you do less damage, but matchups like this where it has very, very good catch for you. For example, like the X-Mark arrow. I think this facet with this build actually makes a lot of sense.
I just saw Shanks instantly rebuild Dormant Curio. He didn't even waste a second, man. This guy, he loves tier 2 Dormant Curio, and honestly, so do I. It's pretty nice.
Now you want to get it with the greedy enchantment?
Yeah, I mean, that feels pretty good, right? What's he got it with now? I think the Mystical. Yeah, he's got Mystical. That's not half bad either. Especially for this guy. How many Mystical? Ronnie.
Hey, the magic resist is very good this game. You're playing into Kanka, Rihanna. Morphling also kind of does some magic burst with the waveform.
Tim's middle lane. We're gonna get the tier 2 tower. Shanks, he's gonna break his smoke there, so a quick blink out from the Shadow Shaman. He's away to safety, but I don't think they're gonna be able to defend that tier 2 tower, not with the way they're positioned around the map.
I mean, CML is stopping with the shot there, the spotlight. Very nice. I mean, it's one of the more underwhelming shots, I think, It fits the theme of the clown, the circus clown, but it just feels like in most games that I get it, I don't feel like when I use it, it's gonna do a lot in a fight or do anything at all. You can use it to clear some illusions, but
yeah, I think that's the most impressive way I've seen it used. But I don't know, maybe CML will convince us. He seems to be quite the ringmaster player this game, honestly.
Yeah,
I've been
he
really
has been
impressed.
really on point with the escape axe, and his
Execration just smoked under a ward.
Cushion.
And you can see Boom responding to it pretty quickly. Execration, this could be trouble for them. Literally right on top of
I mean, they're gonna fight into the Aegis, and I'm not so sure if that would be wise for Boom, despite them being 5k ahead.
Yeah. Observer mid lane, doesn't see quite much. Now they see Palos. Lewis joins the smoke just in the nick of time not to get caught under the ward.
Palos has BKB, by the way, so he is not an easy target.
Butterfly Morphling, though, can they kill him in this fight? The initiation on his CML, trying to get rid of the box save. They force it to use it on himself as Tim still alive here. Gets off a short shackles onto Palos, but it's going to be quickly canceled there by Lewis. So Palos gets off the BKB, and now he's on the run. Stolen shackles here from Shanks as Palos kiting them out. Jabs, he's going to go down after the BKB wears off as Shanks dying to the Ancient Black Dragon. Still a half good fight, though. While, yes, the Clinkz kites them out, Jackie runs them down here with the power of that butterfly. He is fearless. A 3-for-2 trade in favor of Boom, even through the Aegis.
Yeah, after looking at the fight, I understand why Boom decides to go against the Aegis. The Morphling with the butterfly timing just supreme right now. It's very hard for the Clinkz to match up into that. He has to figure out whether he wants to get an MKB soon. He's queuing out a Porygon Pike now though, but it does feel like they are going to need some way of bypassing this butterfly. If not, Morphling is going to be very, very difficult to kill in the team fights. If you are only going to rely on your Sonic Wave and Roaring Thunder and the Wheel, I think that's not going to be any easy task, bringing down the Morphling. We're going to see another look. Team is just fearless there with the Ghost Scepter initiating on CML there at the start of the fight, kind of opening everything, and that allows the team to follow up with the Beast. And Morphling just kind of killed everything, you know. Palos cannot even stand his ground to fight with the BKB. And if your Clinkz is running, I can pretty much for sure say that you're going to lose the fight, you know, if Clinkz BKB and can't fight.
Catching Armel.
Yeah. I mean, he's changing his mind. No, he didn't change his mind. He already completed the pike.
Yeah, MKB queued up next though, but he's a little bit farther away from that. He farms rather quickly on this hero.
I mean, it's going to take so long to get to the MKB. I feel like they don't have time though.
He's got 3 minutes until next Roche. Well, hold on. I still have Aegis actually. So Aegis expires in 10 seconds, and then it's another at least 3 until Roche.
Yeah, but the thing is like, Boom is already proving in the team fights they are very strong or way stronger with the Butterfly and Morphling. I don't think they are going to give you a chance to farm your NKB on the Clinkz. They are going to be running at you now. I mean, they could wait for the BKB on Jackie. Jackie is very close to the BKB, but I don't even feel like he needs to, you know. As long as he's around his Kanka with the bolt to protect him.
He's going to try and pick up the DD rune, but he's hit by this X-Mark Torrent combo. The Spark act save is really good. It's Armel trying to just face tank everything, but they find the roar. They find the roar to Palos, but they can't kill him off. The Sonic Wave saves him from death as he, with the BKB, runs back on out. Jackie's getting controlled here with the Butterfly. He's killed off. And now Jabs is minced to meat behind. Armel gets chased down. He actually dies to the damage over time by Lewis. All 3 cores dead just like that, Winter.
Oh my god, I actually didn't expect the Morphling to die. He died to the roll, the wheel, and obviously the vessel as well. Like without the BKB, he actually dies to the vessel. He didn't have any way of removing it just now. He already used his Manta.
Oh no. Look at that, they're gonna push a high form. They have a banner.
Kind of being impatient there. They were so close to the BKB on the Morphling.
Maybe they should have waited. Arrow does at least delete siege creep. The car is down. There's your 2-3 tower.
They're gonna try to end the game.
No, they're forcing buybacks. They're threatening to end the game here. Boom. How will they reply here with the Deso? That 2-4 tower is getting tanked as John Well, he jumps in. That'll trigger the buyback at least out of the Kunkka. And just the 1 buyback is enough for Execration to back off of the tier 4 towers. Still though, barracks, they will be defended as an arrow goes fishing just wide. Does not connect onto Lewis there.
Radiant's top tower is
I hope we have time to witness the fight again. You know what actually went so wrong for Boom in the last fight? Was it the Morphling just waving into the middle and he got controlled by the wheel? It starts here with an X mark. Armel gets the AD, so they are obviously feeling really confident at taking the fight. And here they get the roar onto the Clinkz, and somehow he just gets forced off and he's fine, you know, and he doesn't die. And the Wheel of Wonder plus the Roaring Thunder, they're just making sure that the Morphling just dies, you know, with the vessel on top.
Sonic Wave onto all 3 cores. That's not half bad either, right? That's a little bit of a space creating ult in a way.
Okay, I am wrong. He needs to get BKB. I thought he was kind of invulnerable with the Butterfly with the previous fight, yeah. But Execration proved that with good coordination in the team fights with our spells, we can definitely kill Jackie.
Well, Jackie's got that BKB flying to him now. So ideally shouldn't be an issue for him. He's hit another powerful timing. We've seen them kill Jabs very easily through his BKB. Armel, his BKBs also have not felt too amazing as he's going to do a little cheeky X-Mark play. Are there any Yules to cancel in this game? I don't think I've seen any. No, right? No Yules.
No.
Not a single Yules this game.
Yeah, I mean the supports are buying other items like the Vessel on Rubik and the Dagger. I mean, he even has a Glimmer now, so he is pretty rich on the Rubik. CML has a Solar Crest, nice item for Clinkz always, but the Rex, the melee Rex is going down here. Execration, you know, somehow finding a way back into this game.
This is huge,
Boom
right?
were pretty dominant in the first 15 minutes. You know, they had such a big lead, but now the game has kind of went into the phase where it feels like anyone can win right now. Execration just snatching the momentum away from Boom, and Boom, they're not gonna sit back and wait. Yeah, on the move again, but it's a risky play here. Armel, he has no buyback. He already used buyback. So if he dies
they want
here,
to fight. They want to fight before MKB's ready, though, right? Palos is about to finish it. with that MKB, even
He
through
needs
the
another
Black King
wave.
bar.
Yeah, he needs a wave of creeps.
He may be very vulnerable
He's
here.
gonna get it here. Yeah, he's gonna get it. MKB should be done now. Yep, coming on the carrier. This is going to be a very, very tense fight.
It is Asher Ag Scepter for this off-lane Pango, so they have control still a little bit through the BKB, folks. Plus, depending, I mean, let's not discount the opportunity that Shanks has here to steal something like a Roar, potentially. We'll have to keep our eyes out for that. I mean, he's got Blink Dagger, right? So he could ideally position pretty far back to make sure he gets a fantastic steal.
They need to kill CML first. I mean, he's been on point with the boxes all the time to escape back. I mean, Pal just running up the ramp going for the tier 4
look at him.
towers.
Oh my god! It's gonna expose your Ancient. Rat Dota 30 minutes in. And he spooks him into TPing back.
Gosh,
Look at that.
what a play there.
She's gone. I mean, and he shows the MKB.
Yeah, Boom is like kind of shocked already. They are in shock. They are not really sure what they have to do right now. They haven't been having a clear direction in the game. They have to find a good fight now. They're gonna smoke and CML. The clown has to be the first target. He
Where's Roche?
is too annoying with the boxes and the wheel.
He spawned bottom. Sorry.
No, the clown is too annoying with the boxes and the wheel. He has been instrumental in the team fights. You know, they have to kill him first on Boom side, either with the Blink Raw or the Blink hacks for the Shaman.
Oh, Lewis, they're running up the ramp. Sonic Wave used, but Armel's going to BKB. That is wheel expended as well. They didn't really find much here, Winter. Just a BKB.
Well, there's BKB on Armel though, so I feel like he does not want to, proceed anymore in the fights.
They just can't lose this Roche for free though, can they?
I mean, nobody wants to beat the Roche now. I think they want to kill each other.
Oh, Tims. Oh, Tims. He actually did live.
He got fed a cheese. Oh, he was full health right away. Must have been a cheese or something.
I think so. No, you know what? It was a Lotus. It was a Lotus with Celamene's Faithful.
Oh yeah, 50% more effective. Lotus.
Big Lotus. But he doesn't have foul play for another minute and a half as he's going to be picked up. Oh no, by the spotlights, the searchlights illuminating him as Tim somehow avoids the Sonic Wave. He'll be fine for now. Jackie, he's going to get stunned a second time. No, he gets off the BKB and look at the damage he has into Tino. The Roar is going to be committed, but the box save again from CML. They keep forgetting about the clown. Oh no. Ooh, Esports, they commit so much and they pick up absolutely nothing.
They have to realize that has happened way too many times. If they do not kill the clown, they will look like the clown.
That's true. That is true. Arrow. Oh, almost caught someone there. That Execration still lingering around the Roche pit.
This is going to be a Mexican standoff right now.
Look, I mean, look, the Ringmaster shard looks pretty good here, doesn't it?
Yeah, all of a sudden. Yeah, for situations like this, it definitely feels a lot more useful. You scout, and after they use the spotlight, they're gonna smoke out.
Go.
Armel. He's gonna have to be careful. He has no BKB. Oh, his BKB is already ready again. All right, never mind.
Japs has Roar in his own BKB. I think the BKB they're waiting for is Jackie's. 25 seconds till he has his ready.
This is very tense. I think Execration could just try to threaten the mid lane again and force them to go back and then go back to do Roche, or wait for the daytime Roche, so it's easier for them to do it.
2 minutes until Roche moves pits. Spawned
I think all
3 minutes ago.
All they need to do, Richie, is to delay until the sun is up and the Roche moves down. Oh no, there's an AD rune. Maybe he doesn't have to wait.
Look at this darn Clinkz, man. He's done it. He didn't go mid. He went bottom to ring the doorbell. Now, with the AD rune, they may look for the Roshan. Doing their due diligence here. Setting up vision. Shanks is going to eat a little arrow there, trying to be a bit too bold. He's underneath the ward, but the Sonic Wave, I think that's going to be onto Armel. Armel's just running in with the BKB. Once again, they're going to be aiming for Shanks, but this time Tims, he finds the Ringmaster. Armel trying to get the damage in, but they still get off that Wheel of Wonder. That's going to interrupt Tims, who has had his Mass Serpent Ward stolen, but it's still a big kill there, actually. Jackie. Who was it? Palos.
Palos,
He dies there to
too far.
jabs.
Yeah, he went in too far, and I think the ringmaster got stopped by someone else, so he couldn't save him. Oh my god, how the tables have turned right away. The moment the clown is found, they look like the clown right now on the Execration side for being so aggressive with the
What a
Clinkz.
fight. Gao picks up the +1 kill, I think, on that nice arrow. And here we are.
He must have arrowed the ringmaster behind, or something must have.
No, it was Tim's.
It was Tim's. Okay, so Tim stopped the ringmaster, and Palos got rawed, and he just died. And now we're back to square one, right? When Boom had like a 8-9k lead. It's gonna be bigger now.
It is. Aegis on this Morphling, 4.5 minutes. Cheese on jabs as Lewis. Quick Sonic Wave here. Does not get that Ancient Black Dragon, though. Reaps continue to do the damage. Careful. The arrow nearly connecting again. The box save. CML in position this time. They could not catch him off guard. The barracks being focused down. Boat to give them this run buff. As they try and escape.
No, they have to run. All of them.
Palos, he's respawning. Good torrent there will catch Lewis as Jackie is hit by that impalement arts. Another dagger flying his way, this time the Shadow Strike. Giving him another move speed slow. Palos closing the gap. Lewis once again initiating, but a long waveform gets him to the high ground on the other side of the river.
They have to come back here.
Execration. Thought they were going to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe Jabs is just continuously doing that. Right? He has to know that if nobody is stopping the ring, he can't really roll anyone. I mean, that was such a dangerous move there. They get the Rex, but it could have been really ugly, you know, if the Morphling wasn't able to get out there. I mean, Boom just once again looking shaky, you know. They have a good team fight, and then immediately next they have a shaky one, you know. It just seems like they are very, very impatient at times, you know, when they have a lead, especially when they have a lead, they feel like they can do anything, you know, so they're rushing things or they just disregard what counterplays the opponent has, you know. I think this is quite a common problem that I've seen, you know. We've casted a couple of their series, and you always feel like when they are ahead, they tend to not respect their opponent's counterplay potential. They run in and they throw some of the games because of that.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's been the classic SEA team problem, right? Of like controlling the mid game, especially when you have the impetus.
Yeah, I imagine if you're the support staff behind, you're watching their games, you're kind of hoping like, oh, I like it better when my team's on even ground or behind, you know. They don't do crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, very true. Okay, so Morphling, he's doing some shopping here, but he's got a Satanic in the inventory now. BKB in the backpack. Disassembling
he should
that.
be. Hey, why is he keeping his boots? Yeah, felt like he should be removing his boots. Yeah, he's in front of enemy base. Doesn't seem like he needs the boots. Yeah.
Are you afraid that he'll just get stunned after the BK or after the Aegis?
Yeah. I mean, he could swap it in later anyway. That's probably what he thinks.
Yeah. For now, he's just face tanking a lot of spells. Arrow sailing through, doesn't catch much though. They do force the glyph of fortification.
He's not. Okay, he's regenerating now.
They reduce the glyph duration on creep, so he does get a little bit of regen there, but that's Satanic on cooldown for 20 seconds. Tier 3 tower goes down. Man, he is ripping through these fat racks. Tino, he's got to do something about it, so they're going to jump on in. The control pretty flawless there on the first life. BKB slotted in. Rum buff is not going to connect either. Rolling Thunderstun is perfect now for round 2, but Jab on the jump in. Again, the save from CML, but this time Jackie, he's in. Oh, and the roar. They actually find Palos. This time the box isn't there to save him. He doesn't have buyback. Boom Esports. They're into the high ground now as Jackie morphing into the Queen of Pain, blinking in aggressively onto the tier 4 towers. He says, look, Palos, I can do it too. But instead, he's going to go for the Megas. The tier 3 tower's already down there. That's Megas. What did those Eric's go down? That must have been Tim being a little sneaky lad. All of a sudden, went to the game. Looked so good, Jackie. He avoids the Sonic Wave. The box save again. The box save again. But Execration still getting caught as Tim's gets his hands onto Shanks. Armel pops the BKB. Jackie fighting versus everyone. Seems basically unstoppable as Tino needs to swashbuckle back into the fountain. They bought back now on Shanks, but what can they hope to do into Jackie? No BKB, no Aegis, no Satanic for 4 seconds. Can they take him down? No. There's just not enough control. They need the Clinkz in this fight, but he's out for still 30 seconds. No buyback. He bought out. Sonic Wave onto the two supports. Not half bad. Armel. He's going to be kept alive with the counter initiation. Jabs finds Aurora and Jackie there to do the damage. Goodbye, sir, he says. Tim's still alive. There's that foul play here as Lewis eventually gets the kill. But here's Jackie now back to support his team. Lewis doing whatever he can. As Tino, he buys back. Another Rolling Thunder is ready. That's another kill here for Lewis. One core killed at the very least. As finally, boom, we'll call it quits on this high ground siege. They got what they came for. They got the megas. Jackie, wow. Nice fight from them there.
I know I'm a pain.
Yeah, now they have the nullifier to kind of stop the box here on Conquer. So it makes the fight a lot easier. But Execration, you can see, you know, once the Clinkz is down, they have a huge problem with in terms of doing damage. He's the only one that outputs the majority of the damage. I mean, the Queen of Pain's doing a lot too, but it's not enough, you know. And Pango is not like a very high damage core in the team fights, you know, at this stage. So if the Clinkz dies, and right now, Boom is going to be able to run away with the fights with the nullifier because it stops the clown from saving with the perfect escape act, you know.
Execration. Maybe go down the mid lane here. There's a tier 4 tower down and one on very little HP. Palos here avoids that arrow. He does not have buyback, but he does have a Daedalus, so a ton of physical damage. Tier 4 tower down, Ancient exposed, still no buybacks. Boom! Not blinking here quite yet. In goes Jackie now. The torrent does connect onto 2, but the box save is there to make sure Jackie doesn't get the quick kill here onto Palos. Lane still in a pretty healthy position here, but that's an arrow. That's an arrow. Tino, he's just brought back. Nullified, no box for him. He's put into a casket into the ground, and Palos is going to join him. Jackie gets the kill there, and that's just got to be it, Winter. They get 2 heroes, no buybacks. Here they go, slaying Execration out of this first game as the GG is dropped. Boom Esports will take game number 1 here in the lower bracket semifinals.
Yeah, in the end, they were able to finish.
Execration looking for a way back into game 3. We have a lovely SCA matchup here in the lower bracket semifinals on the road to TI. Thanks for joining us, everyone, as we get underway with our second game. I love mid lanes like this these days, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're super, super fun. Of course, you see Misanthropy again, right, on this Lesh.
I think you see it more nowadays because they remove the bottle refilling when your supports TP in. So the lane matchup has more weight nowadays. Playing well in the lane matters a lot more in the mid lane. So looking at the facets, any weird ones out. So we have Heart of Battle on the Darks here. So he's actually going for the facet that's better in the later mid-late game. Also good in the lane. The attack speed facet, the quick wit is better for lane. Personally.
Arsonist instead of
And
Stoked.
Arsonist on a support Bat Rider. Alright, this is very interesting. So he wants to do the deeps, you know, he wants to do damage.
Yeah, he does. Everything else kind of lines up a little bit more.
He wants to be doing some right
surprising.
clicks, you know, with which play. We saw Mac do that yesterday on late game with his napalms.
No. Eno, Shackles, level 1. They have Lightning Storm. He's tanky. Very good Flame Break, level 1, and the deny from Shanks.
G.
Just in time.
GG. Veno. Such a sad Veno. Oh, Veno actually went patient 0. Haven't seen that in ages.
Really? I guess yesterday when we saw
it's better team fight.
Yeah. Yesterday he went for the Plague Carrier, of course, because it was a jungle Veno. But I think we've seen another Veno. Did we see another Veno game, or was that the only Veno game? I might be crazy.
I don't remember, so I can't help you.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
So we look at the side lane now. You see Palos, he's already getting pressured a lot in this Doom Shaman lane, which I kind of already mentioned that it's going to be difficult for the TA in this lane, despite having one of the best bodyguards in the lane, you know, Naga Siren. But the Shadow Shaman and Doom are going to be able to exert a lot of pressure, whereas Jackie, I feel he's going to be mostly fine, you know, against this Darkseer Bat Rider lane. He's going to be able to farm and be okay and get his levels. And mid lane is the lane that we want to stick our eyes on, you know, this Monkey King into Lashrak lane, a super volatile lane, you know, especially when it hits level 3.
That's gonna pop off here, that's to be certain.
Yep. Level 3 for the Lash would mean that kill opportunities are gonna present themselves anytime.
Right. Slightly early lead for Lewis, as you'd kind of expect with the attack range and being melee in CS, but nothing too crazy. 10-3 to the 8-0. Pretty close. Top lane, we've seen a lot of creep skipping shenanigans from Tino. Shanks did a fantastic job at bullying John Noel at the first wave. So one, he unblocked the camp, and two, John Noel could not contest the creep skip. Kind of a big deal here. It's going to guarantee a relatively calm early start to this lane, where Tino can just get up to that level 3 and then look to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, Doom is definitely having the time of his life down here now. 12-4 against the 7-1 TA. TA is not having a good time here in this lane, which we kind of already expected. You know, he's going to have to play a little bit of catch up, and TA is not the worst hero to do that. You can clear stacks later as long as your team has some ancients for you.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, 3 minutes is going to approach. The Lotus battle will commence. And not to mention, the glyph is going to be ready to be popped. It's off cooldown, so the mid lane is going to start to get interesting from minute 3 onwards.
Level 4 for Lewis. 2-0-2 on this Monkey King. With that second point in the Jingu Mastery. Slightly leading Armel here.
Yeah, he's getting a slightly better advantage in terms of CS right now. But still, it's going to be a very volatile lane. And top lane, Darkseer has already kind of recovered with all the pulling shenanigans. The Kunkka kind of fell slightly behind, but not too big of a deal. That's a very, very small problem. Shackle here.
Got him. Jabs. Thinking about trying to turn on a Palos. They'll get through those refraction charges, but he's hit by that meld. Debuff, still trying to right-click through it. His does not have the damage. Tim's, he's trying, but another meld is not going to be good enough. It should allow at least CML to get the trade, and indeed it does. CML, the big winner there, is up top lane. Tino with that double ion shell. Oh no! Pays the price, the Tidebringer cleave, and the damage over time ticks him down. Jackie may be able to find a second. Another X, another Tidebringer, and he's gonna live. They needed one more auto attack, and Jackie would have fallen to the resin, but he's okay.
Yeah, he probably wants to die now. The silence actually proved to be more exciting than the mid lane, right? Both side lanes fighting to the last health. He has a self, and he will be fine here. Yeah, the TA and Naga are very, very good trade somehow in the bot lane, you know. Killing the Doom first before the TA
Round
dies.
2. Down bottom, Jabs behind the tower. Eager to try and get through Palos, who's got another meld in a second, and most importantly, a Bat Rider now ganking from the lane. There's that big reel in. Back under the tower, but John Wells also joined the fray. The refraction charges back up, buying him precious time, but precious seconds only. He will still drop. However, CML, he's going to come out of this very high leveled. 8 stacks of that napalm. CML stays alive. Shanks, with a key rotation, nets himself a double kill.
Yeah, the supports on Execration, once again, they did a whole lot of work in the early game. Yesterday in the Veno Witch Doctor duo, when they had that combination, they also kind of carried the game in the early game, and this time with the Naga and Bat Rider, the 2 supports on Execration, once again, you know, shining, you know. And mid lane, the lane that we that I actually kind of highlighted the most is the most quiet lane so far. 5 minutes, no kills yet.
I sleep. Get in there, lads. Radiant did use a glyph here at some point, so that's on cooldown for the moment. So Armel has an opportunity to maybe play a little bit more aggressively. But right now, his attention is focused onto just clearing the car. Up top lane, Jackie summons that boat. Tim's running. We'll be able to get into range with the shackles to guarantee the kill there onto Tino.
Yeah, nicely. Kill there for Jackie, pops his level 6 and instantly gets a kill on the Darkseer, you know. So now Jackie is on top of the leaderboard in terms of net worth after that kill. So he's going to be pretty pleased with that.
They won't be pleased though by this rune spawning bottom. Monkey King's got a big shield rune, so he's just going to let loose here immediately on the Wukong's command. Armel knocked down into the river.
I felt like that was a kill, yeah, if he bounced him back into the ring.
Yeah, I think it worked out for him.
Yeah, that was an opportunity missed there for Execration. But now, Monkey King is going to do what Monkey King does best, stealing the Wisdom Shrine. The Shrine of Knowledge will be granted if the Monkey King arrives there on time.
There's a little tree running through the tower. Careful here. You might actually look for killing the Jabs first, actually. Jabs realizing, wait a second, that's a Radiant tree coming from the Dire side. What's happening here? But it's too late. They set up the kill, and he will go down. On the other side of the map, though, the Hydralisk invading alongside Tims and Kunkka. Oh, still, they'll split the Wisdom Shrines one apiece. Oh, and Jackie's actually caught Shanks here. A boat's ready in 3 more seconds. They might have to fear some of these TPs.
Yeah, Tino definitely does not want to die back to back, you know.
There's the boat.
The boat.
Armel joining from the mid lane. Level 3 Diabolic Edict. He's looking for some bat, and he will assist Jackie in picking up the kill. Jackie up to 3-0 and 1. The carry Kunkka.
And this, the side lanes are just having action non-stop. We have 13 kills so far. Mid lane has been somehow the most quiet lane. CML is already here, level 5. Gonna hit a pretty early level 6 now, 5.5 on the Naga. It's definitely gonna come into play, you know, at some point. This early level 6, 8-minute rune. Lash wants to get himself on the haste.
Stacking Radiant Ancients to see if that works out, because first there's a fight in the river over the possible rune spawn. It's actually down bottom. It's still the Wukong's command doing the damage, finding the kill onto Armel. Monkey King stays alive. In fact, he jumps on over. That changing of the guard facet
He dodges the
allows him
axe
to avoid
with the mirror image. Fantastic play there by CML. Survives.
Yeah. He's okay. He's going to be A-okay.
Man, it's not every day you really see the support starting in games just like that, you know, Execration. They are definitely getting carried, you know, by their supports in this game.
They're doing their job, you know, and they're doing a good job of it, which we love to see. Xmark into Torrent, but boat's not quite yet ready, so Lewis continuing to fight through this one. There's the first wall of replica of the game. Will not save the life of Shanks, however, as Armel has already that max edict, as you'd expect, and that is going to tear through pretty much everyone this game for the next 10 minutes. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, things are looking pretty good right now for Execration. It's stabilized, especially for the TA. Look at the net worth. The TA is all of a sudden on top, and the Doom is bottom. Doom was kind of like bullying the TA in the initial stages of the lane, and now Doom is the one that has to retreat and hide in the jungle, you know.
Yeah, he's bored.
I feel like Boom probably has to bring in heroes to kick this TA out, or at least use the Doom, you know, to actually kill the TA. He's level 6 now on Jabs. They have to try to figure out how to bring in numbers here to pressure the TA, you know. But right now, Monkey King is the one pressuring the Doom. He's going to hunt him down.
He's going to fight him here in the side camp. For now,
and
though...
Meanwhile, you were saying Kunkka was stacking the enemy jungle.
Well, no, Tims was stacking for them, actually. There's the surprise jump onto Jabs now. They were just waiting for Shanks to close the gap so they could drag him back in with the lasso.
That's level 6.
Yeah, 10 minutes in.
Yeah, Naga's level 7 soon. Oh my god, the supports on Execration so high level. I mean, Boom has to kind of fight back soon, you know. They have their serpent wards on the Shaman. Venor is almost... actually, Venor is level 4. Holy.
He's under-leveled. And now he's jungling.
Maybe he should have jungled from the start.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that too, honestly. He doesn't have the skill build for it, does he? Or the facet choice, I believe. I think you kind of need that plague carrier.
Yeah, you need the plague carrier. It helps you jungle faster, a little bit faster. You can still jungle with this facet, but it is slower.
Wait, hold on. I think they're going to try for a Doom. But Shanks, he's going to stand in the way. He will protect his carry. He says, don't worry, Palos. I sacrificed myself for you. Falls on the sword. And allows this TA to continue happily farming away.
But Palos says, but you're so high level, you're feeding away so much gold. You're almost level 7.
Summoning
That's
the
the
Monkey
problem
King
when
now.
your supports are doing so well. You know, when they die, they
Another
feed away
tree
a lot of
gank.
gold.
The Wrath of Nature, this time not from the NP, but from the Monkey King. As the tree ganks, I mean, I think he's 3 for 3 on rotating bottom right now. It's looked excellent. I'm surprised that Boom have not set up any vision in the river area to scout him out. It's hard to scout a monkey, of course, but you know, it's not the primal, or what is it, what was it called? The primal step? The
Primal Spring.
tree? No, the
Tree
dance.
dance
one, the treetop. What was that one?
What, Siemens Stride?
That's
You
the
ask.
one. Yeah, where he would just leap around the map in 5 seconds. You know, it's not those days of monkey anymore, thankfully. Again, cool kill onto the tower for John Well. Actually, maybe they've gone a bit too deep. CML, Jackals will be committed here, and Jackie completes the TP
All right.
to tie
The
Bringer
tower
Cleveland the dead.
just killed the Naga. Full to 0. I mean, Jackie's just there to take the last hit with his Radiance now. He is going to show it off to the enemy. He is very, very fat. 12-minute Radiance face boots.
Lewis trying to defend this tower now. Wall of Replica drop here to try and control Jackie. Vacuums back, but he's got that boat buff to keep him healthy. Okay, a nice Noxious Plague onto Lewis. That will spread over to Shanks, who will probably spread it again to try and deal with these mass Serpent Wards.
They were close to killing the Kanga. That was a pretty nice initiation by Lewis and Tino. I mean, dropping the Wukongs and then the wall on top, that would have been a really, really big kill, you know. But at least they successfully defended their mid tower. And now they push them back, so back to farming. I mean, Lash has his Kaya done, working on a Dagger next. Dagger is when this hero actually becomes a threat on the map. But right now, I think we're probably going to see a couple of minutes where both teams are happy, you know, trading some farm, getting your wisdom shrines at minute 14. I mean, I can't believe Doom is actually so put, you know, after how he started the game, you know. I feel like Execration just kind of wanted to punish him, you know. They made so many rotations towards the TA's lane, trying to help the TA to kill the Doom. And now, as a result, Doom is just so far behind the TA. Now, he didn't really get much help from his team, yeah, the Doom. Like, maybe only once they rotated bottom, but they only managed to kill, I think it was the Bat Rider.
Yeah, correct. He tanks the gank for them there. I think Shanks, he doesn't have a blink. He's actually not building up a blink dagger this game, Winter. He's going to go for the Witchblade build on Bat Rider, which makes sense with Arsonist, of course. But I think they may need that initiation. I'm not sure.
So he seems to think otherwise.
I mean, we saw Mac dominate on the mid Bat Rider yesterday, right? In the Team Nemesis's victory, Game 3 over Talon. Maybe he was a little bit inspired by that.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to replace his mid laner at some point.
I would
Hey
say
guys,
this
you
game...
know, I've already proven I can play the mid heroes. Lewis has been kind of slacking lately, you know, going out, you know, not playing his pubs, always late for training. They tell him 10 AM training starts, he arrives 10:30.
Right.
I'm on
They're like,
time,
guys,
I work hard, you know, maybe it's time to give me a chance, you know, promote me, you know.
he's like, guys, this is not a Malaysian team. We don't show up 30 minutes late. We show up on time.
Well, it's same for the P9 teams here. We share the same culture.
I guess that's fair. That's fair. But I mean, look, if he's
we
looking to
have
replace
similar
Lewis,
taste buds, you know. The Pinoy players love Malaysian food. The Malaysian players love the Pinoy food.
good. It's good. I'll tell you that, Winter. But I mean, look, Lewis has been playing a pretty phenomenal game so far on this monkey. He's dropped back to farm a bit more as he is building into that Mage Slayer, which I think is very, very strong this game. We've kind of hit a bit of a lull, right, as everyone builds up for their items. For Boom, I don't really expect them to make any crazy moves until Jackie finishes the BKB. Oh,
No,
you think
the
Dagger?
as well. Lash Dagger. That is going to be huge. And meanwhile, Jabs has a Midas, so he is definitely not looking to be too active, you know. Active in the jungle, but not active in the fights.
Yeah, well, he's got that Devil's Bargain, right? So he can eventually reinvest that money at a slight loss, but you're right. He's still a while away from that BKB. He's had a rough lane, but he's doing as Dooms do, you know? Lewis had a pretty decent rotational early game. All of a sudden, this Doom's caught back up to him. It's just the nature of the Doom, isn't he?
I mean, I kind of feel like looking at both lineups, late game, you probably have to give like Boom a little bit of the edge, and with the, I mean, Doom obviously the king of late games. And meanwhile, Amel,
Circling towards-
holy,
Whoa.
how did he actually get caught here? Did he buy
He
his
was
dagger
farming
already?
top.
Oh yeah, he bought
was
his dagger
farming
already.
top.
At least he didn't lose too much gold there. Already bought his dagger. And they're probably going to smoke him up fairly soon, you know, once he responds with the dagger here. And he needs to make some space for his supports, you know, or anyone else. Especially the Doom and the supports to farm, you know. And the Conquer is ready. I feel like he's more than ready to fight right now. And he is still fairly strong. Almost finishes his BKB. I mean, once he
Exactly.
finishes his BKB, it'll be hard for them to really kill him. TA is the only one that can kind of bring him down through the BKB. And the TA has already arrived onto her super timing. Dragon Lance, Desolator, and Dagger. Roshan is on top. So yeah, we might see the Rosh being the next thing on the menu for Execration right now.
Scary prospect, though. I think he'd love to do that after a pickoff, especially if they can find this Lesh again. He's got his blink. He may be looking for a pickoff himself. Shanks is showing in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the bat, you know, going this sort of build.
Yeah.
I think he's going to probably regret it, you know. I'm going to say that at some point, he's going to realize dagger for them to win the team fights.
Okay, I see what you're saying there. But it seems like Execration's settling in for a bit of a longer game. Like Tino's got this greedy essence ring. You know, he's just in farm mode. I hear you. I hear you, though. I do think Blink Dagger's very nice. Jabs, he's keen to show one off now. He decides to just go for the Blink before the full BKB. As Armel bottles up a haste rune. This could be problematic now. Execration not really showing anywhere quite yet. Might be the monkey. Let's see if he primal springs onto this bottom wave. Playing it patiently. Oh, and that patience pays off as Armel chose to nuke the wave down.
Yeah, definitely a very quiet phase of the game right now. Both teams just sitting back, hanging back, looking for anyone to cross over to the other's territory to punish them, but no one is actually, you know, crossing any lines. You know, it's just staying in their own territory, taking stacks, dewarding, for example. You know, CML just keeping the vision game up, and Lewis is playing the dangerous area. You know, whenever the game comes to this phase, you always look at how do teams place their resources, right? Who is taking what area on the map? That usually is gonna have an impact on the game when it goes long. You know, do you have the right heroes in the dangerous places? You know, who is more likely to die and who is allowed to die? And you have to get that sorted out.
Conscious play. Okay, they still get a lasso even without the blink. Boundless strike onto two. Vacuum is huge. They catch 3 heroes, and that's the Venomancer already dead. He did get off that ultimate. The Doom is onto the Naga, so there's no Song of the Siren reset here. And even if they surge her, she will still tick down to the damage over time. Nice Hurricane out from Jabs to get his ally out of a pinch. But Shanks up on the high ground. He needs some support now. He's still going to drop. However, Armel with a heavy commitment blinked in. Halos keen to punish that one.
That was a huge blunder. He initially blinked him and he didn't cast any spells because he thought the bat was gonna die to the right clicks from the wards. And then I think he survived by with a stick or something, some small little health burst. And then he had to turn around to cast his spell to finish the bat, but that gave TA enough time to close the gap with Dagger to kill him off. So that was definitely a huge blunder, you know, by Amel. He probably should have just taken the kill right away, you know, and just run away. And now, guess what? Execration, they get time to the Tormentor. And if the enemy kills Tormentor and you can't get a trade on the Roshan, it just feels really bad. Because usually nowadays what happens is the Tormentor at 20 minutes spawns top, it goes to the Radiant, and the Dire team gets Roshan at least, you know, as a trade, you know. So that was a free Roshan for Execration, and this is gonna feel really good. I mean, CML also gets a shot, you know. This is a pretty good shot, you know, with the extra heal on the Naga Song.
There is a Doom to consider, but, you know, for everyone else, it'll be very nice indeed. Monkey, another gank. We've seen this one before. No one in the vicinity.
I mean, not to mention the mana regen, right? It can be useful.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any Lash, you know. I mean, Lash and Storm, but still, it could be useful.
Sorry, did you see Shanks here? He's actually building in that chart. He was like, man, why couldn't I get that shard? 50-50 between him. He you know, gambled and he lost, but he's going to have that in 100 gold with the full Witchblade and a Brigand's Blade with Alert. Dude, he's a core.
Yeah, maybe that's why Dota Plus is favoring Execration. Like they have 4 cores. They actually have 5 cores because Naga is also a core. So the team with more cores will win the Dota probability. Should have jungle with the banner, you know, I'm telling you.
Maybe
That's how
he
you get an
needed to.
extra core.
Maybe that's what Execration were expecting, perhaps. So that's why Shanks built so greedy. Either way, they're going to move into the Roche pit, and between the meld strikes, this is going to be pretty fast. However, Boom will smoke up and try and take this a fight. I don't know, though. There's so many auras. There's Pipe, Mech. Abs, Blink Dagger. He is going to be scouted. He sees that Roche falling low.
Yeah, that's a Shiva's got on Doom.
Oh, Wukong's command is set up, and that's because Lewis, he scouted John Noel. John Noel spits at him with a Noxious Blade. Boat is going to connect onto him as they do force out that pipe. Lewis, I think he dodged it, though, with the change into the guard as the song is out. And look who they've caught. Armel and Tim's both blinking in, both trapped inside of the snakes. Set up for a 2-man boundless, but you can see Lewis still slowed to a crawl here. Tim's able to eventually leave as up to the high ground goes Jabs. He finds the Doom on Apollo. The back wall is not going to be enough to save as Jackie cleaves through both CML and Palos. John Well eventually with the kill onto Lewis. As this fight, it's gone so well for Boom.
Yeah, they managed to, I think, attack on 2 fronts there, creating a diversion with the initial jump from the Lash and the Shaman. And I think what it did there was it forced out the Nara song. And once the song is down, he was kind of really patient, waiting behind. And then he somehow found the TA, and TA has no way out, you know, because song was already utilized initially to reset the fight, you know. So I think that was a very, very smart play by Boom to split their heroes into 2 groups to try to bait out some spells and then give the Doom an opportunity and opening, you know, to get onto TA. TA is probably the best target to Doom, you know, out of all of Execration heroes. You know, if you can get her Doom in most of the fights, I think you're gonna be able to win most of them, you know. And they were also able to stop the song or use force the song out. So unlike the last game where they were kept roaring with the Beastmaster and then the escape act from CML saving, this time in this game CML wasn't able to save his core.
Not this time. Not this time. Not so easily. My God, Shanks is just all out. Just dragging. And then I guess in for a penny, in for a pound, right? Lewis is kind of going more for utility.
Imagine if they somehow win this game, you have to deal with your supports going Witchblade, Dragonlance.
And not having Stoked in lane, right? To kind of bait around and dive. I'm so used to seeing Bat Riders just zoom around with the Stoked facet, so
yeah,
seeing the other facet, you know.
I mean, going playing for stuff and you're just so mobile, you feel more like a support, you know. Shanks is not feeling like a support now. He is trying to be a core. He's going to find teams.
What kind of support do this? As Lewis picks up the kill.
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought Shanks would say to his Monkey King, I'm a core. I'm about to finish my Dragonlance, give me the kill. I think playing core heroes on support sometimes gives you the luxury to demand kills, you know, in a game.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
You have a good
It's
excuse.
just a matter of balancing it, right? It's like making a nice dish. Can't be too spicy, can't be too sweet or salty, you know. You have too many cores on a team, that's not good unless you're in a turbo game.
Yeah, but tell that to Dota Plus. Dota Plus favors the Radiant side, you know, so clearly they like to line up with more cores. Oh, not anymore.
Okay, by 1%.
Okay. No, dude, it was 60 like 10 minutes ago.
Okay. No, I mean, you're right, though. You're all right. Well, it's going to be a bit of a lead, but ever since losing that Roche fight, Boom in a slightly more commanding position here. 25 minutes in, we're nearly tied, 16-15 as far as kills, but it's that 5k lead that makes a big difference, especially when it lets you double blink on in for this kind of initiation. No chance for the Doom, and Shanks is actually saved by the back wall. What a counter initiation. They've doomed now the Darkseer, but this fight, it looks so good. Palos just able to stand his ground and pump in the damage. He's taken down Armel. Jackie's going to be a bit late. CML buys back here. They're hoping to chase down for one more.
He has no
Palos
TP.
with the blink forward might be able to get that done. Jabs, he's going to force the BKB out from Lewis as he's been jumped here, but it seems like Armel still kiting out a hit here by Palos. Yeah, I think actually Chabs, is he gonna? No, okay, another vacuum. That's gonna be.
He might leave.
Oh, this is awkward. What? What?
What? How? Talking about breaking some ankles right there. I mean, it was a really smart play initially. He stopped because he know that the monkey is gonna jump in front. He stopped. He tried to hide, but then he got caught. But then then he manages to blink out anyway. Some fancy footwork there, you know, by Lord Jabs. And now Palos, what, 1v3?
Trying to TP you away. Ooh, pretty close.
Ooh.
But the Nightfall, it'll get him out of there. Tried and true.
No, that's not the Nightfall. Nightfall wouldn't have let it come so close, you know. He's very safe. He would have TP'd out earlier, you know. He wouldn't have tried to go for the kill.
Oh no, Shaman. Lewis, he showed on the wave. Armel thinks he can take the fight to him, and he just might be right. BKB on cooldown for 20 seconds, and Lewis can do nothing as Jabs will make it a 2-on-1. That's a dead monkey.
Jabs he has definitely recovered, you know, thanks to the Midas. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this game.
Moonshard?
What?
Brother.
What am I seeing? What is he queuing? What is this?
Dude, let him cook. Let him cook. He's almost halfway there. I mean, look at this attack speed, bro.
Okay.
Again, for viewers who saw Mac, I think Mac had a very similar item build, and then once they went up high ground...
This is a support. This is not a mid hero.
Not anymore, bro. Not anymore.
You know what, Richie? Mac had a dagger. Yeah, give me a counter to that. Mac actually bought a dagger.
Yeah, 1-0 in favor of Mac on that front, I will say. That's the counter there, 1-0. 15 love.
I mean, I don't know what to say, you know. If somehow they find a win because the bat becomes a core, I think it's going to be a dark day, you know, for Dota.
I mean, maybe. It would ruin our pubs, but it'd make my day, because that means we'd see an absolutely wild game. I gotta respect Execration. On the ropes here, in the rematch versus Boom. In the past, not quite a week, but 10 days, they're up 2-1, beating Boom in a BO5. But they're in a bit of a troubled spot now in Game 2, as you can see CML forced a song away, unable to escape.
You know, the last two fights, they were able to initiate with the surge. The Bat Rider just got surge and he ran in and lasso. And the last fight, it was a vacuum into a nice boundless strike from Lewis. So without the dagger, that is the only two way they can initiate the fights. And I'm not going to be counting on the surge on the Bat Rider running in. You know, I think with his build, he's going to want to stand behind and right click.
Oh, nice try there, trying to spill him down. Zhao's going to turn, spit on them, but eventually he's going to go down.
Where Boom, they are on the hunt. They don't care if the Venom is down. Is this going to haunt them?
1-5, Jackie, he's going to kick things off the back wall. Does catch two action with the jump. It's better. It's better. Jabs, he catches them out as the tidal wave doesn't quite force Lewis out of the Wukong's command. Suddenly, Armel, who has, by the way, an Ag Scepter, he's still alive. Palos jumps in, but the foul play saves Tims from dying for only a moment as he cleaves him from the low ground. Another tidal wave to try and cover his TP away. The melt strike, the right click damage, it's enough.
Yeah, that was a bad move there in the end.
Ooh. I was close on the Armel as well, but he will escape with his life.
I wonder what they knew that there were 5 heroes there, you know. They knew, you know, and they smoked up and they ran at them after their Venom died, you know. So they must have felt like they were so strong because of the AC timing.
Yeah, I guess.
But
they didn't use anything to kill the Venom Winter. That's what's shocking to me.
Yeah, just normal spells, you know. They just threw normal spells to kill it.
They like used this. I guess Song was Song on cooldown? Song was on cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, but still, you know, he's not just a song, you know. Like there's like Glimmer, there's like the Delage, you know, there's an Ensnare. I don't know, every time Boom is a hit, you know, they make some crazy play, you know.
Here's a replay of that.
Okay, they
mean,
killed
that
the
was
Darkseer
crazy.
right away with the Arcane Rune. But then as soon as the fight breaks out, the BKBs ran out, they just all died, you know? TA, sure, she picks up a Haste Rune, you know, but... Okay, maybe there's some luck into the TA getting the Haste because she kind of killed some of the heroes because of the Haste.
Yeah. But, you know, Boom also putting
But
themselves
it's
more or less in that
unnecessary.
position
What I'm
to
trying to say, it
happen.
was unnecessary, you know, to,
Yeah,
to take such a risk.
I hear you. I hear you, friend. I don't
I mean,
disagree
Velo
with
is
you
like
either.
no normal Pulse 5 right now, you know. He has a lot of items. He has a Mech, he has Solar Crest, he has a Ghost, he does a lot of damage with his Noxious Plague. So he's kind of like a very big part of the team fight, you know. Now we
Agreed.
kind of have a situation where the game is close to equal, but I'm sure Dota Plus is going to favor the Execration side because Dota Plus said the game is equal when Boom had like some 5-6k lead, you know.
We're just trying to roach, bro. I don't know about all this.
Right, dude, their lineup is like so slow.
You know, the back wall onto 2. They've nearly already killed
the Roche.
Tims. And Roche, he's coming out to fight as well. Tino gets the kill on the Tims there.
Oh my god, what were they trying to do? They didn't even commit the Serpent once, they did nothing, and their heroes can't really
That's what
kill
I'm
Roche.
saying. I don't understand what the move was. And still again, Winter, we're going to fight 4 versus 5. There's a buyback now on the Shaman. He's going to commit it, but they poke and prod, and they don't find anything here. The counter initiation, and they're just going to wait out that edict.
They're going to kill the
Oh,
Shaman.
no.
Look at
they know
these.
where he is. Oh, they're
no.
running right in from Lewis and Tino this time around. The foul play saves him for a second, Winter, but he's dead again. A dieback on the Shaman, and Boom.
Has been killed.
Just outmaneuvered. Outmaneuvered.
I'm telling you, they got outmaneuvered by themselves. It wasn't like Execration did anything special, you know. They just came
Dude, I
over
think they're
because the
still
Roshan took too
trying.
long.
They're still trying. Look at these guys. In they go. X-Mark on to Tino. Mile in the pit as well. He's holding on to that nihilism.
Oh, good song. Very good song.
Yeah, it's going to burn out that nihilism duration as they look to try and set up for some damage onto Armel. Armel getting body blocked by these illusions. He's up to the high ground. The vacuum puts him all in range here of Palos. Palos has to BKB. Jabs blinks in, but Palos blinks away. There's going to be the kill onto Armel. The Monkey King doomed up. He will die in the fountain even if he makes it out alive. But how about the rest of Boom? Jackie, a tidal wave, but he is going absolutely nowhere in this fight as CML brings him on back to Palos. The right clicks eventually get the job done. 3 to trade the song.
What was going on? You know, Boom again, you know, imploding at a critical stage in the game, just making a couple of bad decisions in a row, and now Palos gets his hand on the Aegis of Immortal. Like he has a Daedalus, BKB Desolator, Wave, and Aegis right now. He is going to be a scary, scary turret in the team fights, you know. I mean, Lash is going to melt, you know, he's going to be very reliant on this Aghanims, you know, to keep him alive in the team fights. His Nihilism, you know, the ghost form, you know.
Yeah. If they can bait it out, or they can stall it, rather, is a better word
Well,
to
at the
use
same
with the
time,
song.
they have a Nullifier. Monkey King has a Nullifier, so
wow. That he does.
I feel like he's just going to melt, you know, in the team fights. He's going to die, you know, on the Lash if he blinks in. Oh my god, what am I
here. It's here, the moonshot. Look at this attack speed. I've never seen anything so beautiful. Shanks, Execration, they've been in the lab. They've been distilling a little bit of
What
little
lab is
shard,
this, you know? Dexter's lab?
a little dragon lance, a little shard. Oh, he still doesn't even have shard yet, actually.
Shard is going to be the next one for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
if he's already gone this far, why even bother with the BKB? Just get the shard first.
This is why Boom were forced into the fight, because they saw the ramp up, they saw the scaling from this Bat Rider. They see one Moon Shard, and they see one Hyperstone, and they're like, oh my god, guys, they're about to hit an Omega timing. We need to end this game now. Quick, take all the 4v5 fights.
Oh my god, support Bat Rider.
Just get ready. Get ready. You'll see. Come on, just buy the shard, brother. Come on, Shanks. You don't need buyback. You don't need it. The team's here to protect you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's thinking, Richie.
We're gonna go high ground on this Aegis, though, by the look of things, Winter. And how do Boom now approach these fights? They got a pretty good high ground defense team. There's no doubt about that. With the
They have
ability
to
of
kill.
Song,
No, they have to kill the Naga first. That's number one.
Yeah.
That's to stop the Song, and then they have to kill the Bat because the Bat is very easy to kill with this build.
that is true. If they can get on top of him. Getting on top of this Naga is going to be more problematic, though, right? CML with a Blink Dagger, with a Glimmer, so he can stand very far away. And a Song win neither. Ooh, and there's an Amplified Damage Rune here waiting down bottom. Go pick it up, Bat. Bat, go pick it up. It's yours. Let that little inner goblin of yours take that Amplified Damage Rune. It belongs to you. Come on, Shanks. So close.
Things are definitely very worrisome for Boom right now. I don't think they have any room for error from now on. One more mistake, the game is over, and we're gonna go into a game 3, which is kind of good for the viewers, good for us, good for everyone.
It's here.
But for Boom's
Shanks.
perspective, they don't want this to go to a game 3. They have to fight back.
That's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the Bat Shard, and now they can really force the issue. Just get ready, folks. Sticky Napalm deals damage to structures. You think this team pushes fast with a TA? Get in there, Shanks. Oh, he can't show because he's just going to die if he gets jumped. But eventually, just you wait. 25 now up on this TA with the +4 Refraction Instances talent, by the way. Shanks? Come on, buddy. You got Outworld Staff. Just get in there. Nothing can kill you.
Nothing can kill you.
You're unstoppable.
You're trying to get him to do something silly, yeah? So that he throws the game.
He needs to unleash the power of the Bat. Dude, wards? You don't do that anymore. Make Monkey put them down.
I mean, another couple of thousand more network, he can actually do that, Monkey is actually not that far away from the Bat. He's been farming so much on the Bat Rider. It's just 4k go behind his own Monkey. I mean, I gotta say, pushing high ground when your Bat has no dagger, then how are you supposed to go on the high ground and siege the tower, right? You think about it.
That's
if
true.
the tier hits the tower and then he gets jumped, and then you're only relying on your counter initiation from the dark side, there's only one, with the Naga
One
song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they BKB and run in and kill your TA, then the song's not gonna be too useful.
Jack, he's getting pretty big here too, we should mention. He's just had a Satanic delivered. He's bought out though for this. SNY, Satanic, AC, Radiance, BKB.
At some point, they have to kind of initiate with the Bat. Like they can't just, I don't think they can just sit behind and hope the TA can kill the base, I feel like it's not gonna work. Now
That's
Aegis is out.
Aegis.
It's definitely gonna be harder. Well, it's up to them to prove me wrong, I don't think they can siege high ground easily if they can't initiate with the Bat. Because in a normal game, right, the Bat would have dagger and 4 stuff right now, maybe a BKB. And then it'll be so easy, right? You push with the TA, and the Bat flies around the trees, and he sees a hero and blinks in, grabs the hero. That's it, That's a team fight. But if you don't have the option to do that, then you're counting on the Naga to counter initiate. You're counting on the Darkseid to vacuum into the Boundless Strike from Monkey King, So it's hard, I feel like you're not going to be comfortable hitting the tower on the high ground in this way. He's going to build Axe on the Naga. Maybe this is going to help, You rarely see a Naga have Axe, But he's going to be able to ensnare the BKB heroes and pull them out.
Exactly. That might be just what they need. Ooh. Slush with the Dozen Blood Red. I love this neutral item. I think it's probably my favorite neutral they've added to the game. The 12% larger AoE. Super nice for the Timeless enchantment.
Yeah, this is probably one of the better enchantments for a Lash. I don't think you go with the others.
It's tense
the game
though
is
here,
still
Boom.
pretty tense here, Boom has to somehow find a way. I think this Bear Rider going this build is actually giving them still some hope,
Well, that is until he's going to start running.
I mean, he's going to get a BKB now, but yeah. I mean, I guess if the game stretches out to 60, 70 minutes, then it wouldn't matter, right? Because the Bat will probably get everything he needs already by then.
There's a napalm machine right now, though. Up to level 20 talent, plus 4 seconds smoldering resin duration. Look at him, he's
Look
melting.
at that, man. That is insane. Oh.
Just need to get this BKB online.
What is this? Am I playing WTF mode or something?
It does feel a little bit WTF mode, yeah, doesn't it? That's funny. Yeah. Wow. And I mean, all of Execration, look, they're all just farming behind it. CML, he's saving for buyback, obviously, but he does have enough money if he chooses.
Bro, his team is camping in front of the enemy base
Palos,
and he's farming creeps.
what is going on? Okay, there's going to be the song, but they have BKBs. Can Palos escape? Going for the TP on out. He is going to make it out alive. CML, he's going to have to sacrifice himself for this. He's pulled back by the
he has to sacrifice and offer himself to Boom because his carry Bat Rider or carry wannabe Bat Rider is farming jungle bottom.
Dude, one more item, okay? One more item. There it is. Oh, there it is, the BKB. Now we can surge and run in.
Okay, so they can search him in and lasso someone, right? No, I don't think he's going to do that now. I mean, at this point with his build, he's already full committed. He's going to stand behind and right-click people. I don't think he's even going to go in and lasso heroes.
He's going to right-click buildings. This is your sieger.
Yeah, screw the TA, right? Let the bat do it.
Yeah, TA needs to actually do the physical damage. This is just like, you know, this is just like dressing. You know, it's like a garnish on a dish. Shanks, he's here to just be a distraction. And these items, yeah, they make him a threat, but mostly it's something that Boom needs to respond to. You can't get styled on like this. They won't stand for it.
I mean,
What
at the
else have
same
Boom
time,
picked up?
if the TA is Doom, right, I don't think they need to care much about the bat still. I mean, if they just need to Doom the TA, I don't think the bat alone... I mean, if bat really becomes a huge problem, then maybe they have to try to get the second Doom on him because he has Refresher already. So he can always have the option to Doom the bat either if he needs to. I mean, usually you don't want to Doom the support, but in this case, if the bat becomes a huge problem, then all he needs to just do is commit one of the Dooms to the bat. Then it'll solve the problem.
Just pointing out our tier 4 neutral choices here. 2 Outworld staff. Shanks has 1. Lewis has 1. Jab's also with an Outworld staff. And then Jackie with a Pyrrhic Cloak. I think that's always a spicy one to look out for. Something I think people are still getting used to. And especially in like what I think we can say is a Blade Mail meta. I know you said Hood, or sorry, you said Helm was going to be the item of the patch. I think it might be Blade Mail. Either way, it's basically another Super Blade Mail on top. Here we go, though. Smoke move out. They do find Armel. Armel's in a bit of trouble. Nullified inside the Wukong's command. Support is far from him. He is left to die in the mid lane. No dead for 90 seconds. No buyback. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bad. Time to get in there.
Shivas?
Bring in the wrecking bats.
Oh, no. Why did he actually risk it all to buy out his Shivas when Doom already has a Shivas?
Yeah, that's a good point here.
It's all these small little mistakes, happening for Boom, and now Dora Plus has lost faith in Boom.
Yeah, there's a nice win percentage there for Execration. Dude, look at how quickly he gets up. 30 stacks of napalm.
They're gonna have a refresher now. Who's getting a refresher? It's Monkey getting a refresher? No, Darkseid's getting a refresher.
Makes sense. He's been really key in these fights.
I mean, I would make the argument that the Monkey King refresher is also pretty good, with a double Wukong when you're sieging.
True, it's gonna allow your siege bat push. It's got cheese for now. Dude, why are you laughing? This is real. Okay, the Doom. They do catch Palos here. He's got Aegis. Get a Siren to reset here. But they did immediately refresh here for the Doom. He doesn't have mana actually for another Doom. Back wall on the floor! Into the Boundless Strike! The Tidal Wave's gonna pull them all in! It's a little bit of an awkward fight. The second vacuum immediately! It's a madness here on the high ground. Jackie actually still living through everything as 3 buybacks come through. Armel's respawn, but Tino, he's picked up the triple kill in this fight. He throws down 2 walls, makes an X mark,
side.
and nobody died.
Man, look at the team fight, man. I see the Venom ulti bouncing around, the vacuum, the wall, everything in the middle, Wukong's command.
What do they have now for round 2? They have vision on CML. They're going to try and take him down, but it's Tim's in trouble. Tim's with the dieback. 5 versus 3. They can buy back here on the Kunkka, but here's the Siege Bat. Look at him go. Oh, my lord. Oh, the humanity. Move aside, Paolo. Step aside. In goes Armel. Lewis, actually, he did not bound the strike out. He didn't have the shard toggled on. He's kind of trapped up here on the high ground. Jabs, jumps on in. They need a little bit more damage. There's the Outworld Staff, and there's the first life on the Aegis. A vacuum into another wall. It's a good fight set up now as Jackie, having bought back, will tidal wave a few heroes back up to the high ground, but Lewis, he's back to full confidence as Palos jumps the backliners. Another Wukong's command is out. Jackie needing to run from that extra ring. Does make it out successfully. A 5 versus 3. Boom. Whittled down to just the 3 cores, but how will they stop the siege? Look at Shanks go. He's 3-shot your barracks.
He's the arsonist, you know. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. What do you do against this? What do you do? The tidal wave pulling him back in, but guess what? He still has lasso. Stunned up through the BKBs, the nihilism, but Armel, he's nullified immediately by Lewis. Another Wukong's command thanks to the refresher as CML hits the reset now with that Song of the Siren. The Doom onto Tino. It's not going to do enough. Boom Esports crumbling on the high ground defense. Shanks, never doubt the Bat Rider. Always go Moonshard on your support bats, folks. It's going to get you the TI here. As for its success yesterday, they need a win here. They need to make a decisive statement versus Boom. They want to get that momentum moving on to face Talon. Of course, Boom looking for retribution, looking for vengeance, looking for glory, looking for the matchup versus Talon Esports, who are awaiting the victor in a BO3 that'll be taking place right after this. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We are about to get started with the third and final
Before
map.
we get started, Richie, I need to highlight something important. So Void Spirit started with boots. He went to the secret shop, he sold his boots, and he used the boots to get to the lane faster so he could Quelling Blade the tree and get the
Check
sentry
out
off.
this top ward.
Yeah, we mentioned that this played a huge role in yesterday's game when he was doing the 1v2 lane when his banner was jungling and they couldn't get it dewarded. So this could come into play once more, you know. Like if Boom doesn't find the ward and they couldn't control the creep wave and the Void Spirit somehow gets too much out of the lane, this could become a problem. So going through the hero facets, Witch Doctor has malpractice. We've seen like kind of a mix of both, right? Between the Clef Death and malpractice. I mean, Death Prophet is mainly just the Spirit Collector. Void Spirit also usually is Sanctuary. And we have the Plague Carrier, the Jungling Venom Bat. I mean, Carry Tiny's just go for the insurmountable. And on the Boom
The interesting
side,
one here
Boom
is the
side,
Phoenix Hotspot.
Hotspot, I think, is good into DP and Tiny. If you're playing towards the Sunray and you're trying to kill tanky heroes, I think Sunray with Hotspot is the way to go. Yeah, but it does leave you a little bit more vulnerable in the lane because with the Dying Light, you're a lot stronger in terms of trading in the lane.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at.
You know probably why they did this is they are expecting a jungling Venom, so there'll be no lane. So why do I need the facet that helps me in the lane when there is no lane? So he decides to go for, probably that's why he decides to go for the greedier facet, which also has a lot of purpose this game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble because you can't see facets, of course, like we can before you actually see heroes in the game.
Yeah, but you do know that they're probably going to do the Venom jungle because it's the exact same lineup with the Venom, Witch Doctor, and the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it is. They have the same supporting staff here. We still hit this pause. I mean, and again, very, very key to this matchup. But we're not just, boring support players. This block is really instrumental to how well that lane actually went. Tino ended up getting 11 kills in that game, and a lot of it was because of this ward. And I did want to point out, Winter, today they actually sneak the ward here. Yesterday, I can't draw on the map when it's paused. Yesterday, they put it just above, and actually, it was just kind of a mistake from their opponents. They didn't see it. It was just like the standard spot above the camp, which we can't highlight because we're paused. Yeah, up there, right? Exactly, yeah. And unfortunately, the support just missed it. So today, it's much more well hidden. Much better hidden.
Yeah,
and,
but you should already be ready for this sentry placement. I think, personally, even in pubs, a lot of players are already starting to use it quite frequently. So I think usually I don't want to say the players don't know, but I would assume they will know, you know, about this spot and just make sure you deward it. But one thing to note, okay,
blocking the full camps of himself.
He's blocking the full camps here. He knows that the Venom might use these camps. Oh, he's going to use these camps.
Right.
Yeah, because usually how you would guess is you would see that the enemy has Quelling Blade. When the enemy has Quelling Blade, you're going to expect some weird-ass sentry placements, you know. I think he's going to find it.
Oh, he needs to cut another one.
Oh, he needs to cut one
no,
more.
and Tino.
No.
Oh,
he
no.
cut the wrong. No, he cut the wrong one. He needs to cut the middle, the red one.
This one here.
No. This is bad.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
I am wrong about
spots.
the players knowing about this. He doesn't know.
I think he'll get it eventually. Let's see how Shanks reacts. I think he's going to be sad in 10 seconds. He's getting everyone ready, dude. It's like he's hosting a birthday party for him and all his Plague Wards, and then no one's going to show up. I think he's going to be really sad. Let's see. I want to see his camera here. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. Nothing spawns.
Oh, he's calm. He's calm.
He's pretty calm.
I'm sure he's saying some colorful words in his comms right now.
Yeah, something about putting a tank somewhere, maybe? I'm not sure.
Okay, both sides not finding the wards, so I guess that's even somewhat, but worse for the Benno. I mean, Tino's kind of still getting a good amount of XP. He's level 2 now, so this is great. This is fantastic for him. And mid lane DP into the Kanka should be also another lane which is favorable, very favorable for DP. But so far in terms of CS, Kanka is in the lead, 10-3 against the 5-1 of DP. So yeah, Kanka is doing extremely well, you know. But I would expect DP to kind of pull ahead once he hits level 3.
Exactly. Tino getting bullied up top lane. Okay, Dissemblate is gonna get him out of there. And low on HP.
He dewards the sentry on Janelle, finds the sentry now.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Good work. Yeah, I think for some of those, you can actually scout it from the high ground as well if you're having trouble with some wards. If you cut down these trees on the high ground and just stand there, you'll get vision usually. Obviously, you got to be a ranged hero, but... You know.
But Venom doesn't have gold to spend, you know, to deward there, you know. So he's just doing the triangle camps, you know. It's going to be a lot slower because you can't clear the Ancients. I think with the early wards, with the level wards, it takes too long. You need level 2 wards. So I think this is going to greatly slow down his game, you know. So I think this is a very, very smart move by teams on the Chaos Knight to make the track over to block both of the camps.
Yeah, I mean,
he was already farming Ancients at Minute 3, I remember, yesterday. Today he can't.
Yeah, he preferred the side camps, but now he's set up here. Oh no, John Well, he's blocked his camp again.
Oh my God.
Shanks.
Oh, level 1 wards is going to take a long time to clear the Ancients. But he's going to have to make do with what he has right now. And
yeah, really good job shutting him down.
How is the Tiny doing? Tiny is 15-8. Wait, what? The Darkseer has 1 CS?
Yeah, he's been kind of getting bodied out of this lane.
He has 1 CS? What?
Level 2. They finally... So the problem was that they were having was I think they got a good toss back onto jabs, and they nearly killed him. So he needed to TP away, and then he just walked slowly back to lane.
Okay.
Tim's tried to skip a wave, but then the Witch Doctor...
Venom wards and the camp blocking, you know, I didn't notice that he actually had to walk back.
CML doing a lot of work down here bottom, though. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, this is real bad news. Super bad news, you know, if your Darkseer has 4 last hits at 4 minutes. So, Boom is losing bot, they are winning top, and they are winning mid. So I guess they are still overall kind of happy about this because the jungling Venom is not exactly having a great start.
No, he is not. He's finally forced to deward at least his hard camp here in the triangle. But like you said, I mean, he didn't really do anything for the first 70 seconds of the game, sadly for him. And of course, Jackie, he's going to be the kind of hero that can really take advantage of this, right? So much base damage here, up to 12 denies. I don't remember what Execration laned into last time, but I feel like it was a little bit more of a difficult lane for the carry to deny everything. Tino's having a bit of a harder time. You can tell because Jackie's up to level 4, actually.
Well, at least as long as the Void Spirit is getting his own levels, he is going to be fine. Yeah, with this. I think it was a Doom, you know. Because I remember they were playing into tech-free gaming. It was a Doom plus something, you know. I don't remember the other hero.
You're right about
But yeah, I
that.
think overall, if you are Execration, you're kind of happy with what Tino is getting from this lane. You know, it's 1v2. You don't really expect him to get up too much. Anything better than this is already quite difficult to achieve. He's gonna die at minute 5, but this is eventually going to happen. But I don't think it is too much of a bad news, you know, for Execration, given how Venos, he's still level 5, you know, at 5.5 minutes, you know. He was given he was level 6 at 5, so he's like kind of like one level behind compared to his usual speed. But still, you know, I think this is still looking pretty solid for Execration overall.
That's right. Now he's getting ready to rotate mid lane, which Armel also level 5. He's going to get level 6 here, though, from the range.
Yeah, he's getting ready for the DP to pop 6.
But in they go. Pre-level 6. If they can get this Maledict down, it is level 2. They might be able to get him. They need a little bit more slows, and I think he's going to be a bit too speedy. Blood Grenade really hoping, really reaching for it. I mean, it's a lot of damage, and they will delay this level 6. He has level 6 and a shield rune. Hold on. This is some action here.
Dead. This tower looks dead, my friend. They have a glyph if they need to use glyph.
For the wagon, yeah. Fire Spirit's thrown onto the wagon to try and neutralize this push. And the Dire glyph is going to get used first.
Yeah, but the tower took so much damage. It's definitely going to go down the next Exo. Can he actually finish it up now with the current Exo? Probably not, yeah. It's going to be close, but probably not. And Jebs on the dark side has kind of recovered a little bit, but he's still in a pretty bad spot and he's going to die here. Yeah, he's dead.
Maledict, no way out of that
Wisdom,
one.
Shrine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Execration getting away with murder here, double shrines.
Yeah, maybe even the kill onto Tim's as well. He's got those those raindrops to be a little bit extra tanky. Wow, the bounce is there. The second bounce there onto Tim's. No luck there for him on the CK. He's going to go down for the kill onto Palos.
I think things are looking real bad for Boom right now. I mean, on the bright side, Morphling is pre-farming top. He's the one that is doing really well comparing to his teammates. So he's going to be under a lot of pressure, you know, to do a lot of work in this game. I mean, Jabs is like totally, he's a support right now. Even the jungling Veno and even the off-lane Void Spirit that's 1v2 is richer than the Darkseer.
Yeah. That lane's really gone quite poorly for him. He's into the jungle. Like we talk about, this is a hero that can jungle now. And he's got this chip vest with the mystical mana regeneration.
You know what? He probably has more network than this, right? If he started the game off with jungle.
Probably. Should have just, you know, mirrored Shanks, honestly, or something.
Yeah,
Mid tower goes down, by the way. There was no Exo used for that. Next one up in 15. And the 8-minute power runes also into Lewis's bottle. It's an invis.
Yeah, they boom side, they have to find a move with the Conquer. I think soon, you know. They need to try to destabilize this Execration lane dominance, you know. They have to try to get a kill somewhere. But the heroes are very tanky, you know. DP, Tiny, they're both very, very difficult to kill. Not to mention the Void Spirit, you know, he's so mobile. So where can they go here? That's the question, you know. Maybe they have to try to get the support so the supports can't pressure the cause. Because the Witch Doctor and Veno are causing a lot of problems.
Exo's committed for this push top lane. The Tim's behind the tower, maybe trying to do some harass with the Ion Shell applied. Will find life very difficult here.
Yeah, Lewis is meanwhile just destroying and opening up the map here, you know. I mean, this is looking so good, you know, for Execration. They are on the right track right now this game to making sure that they proceed to the next round, you know. Boom, they need to react, they need to do something quickly, you know. They have to try to stop this train, you know. It's only just a 1k to 2k lead right now for Execration. It's not like a super huge lead, but the momentum-wise is definitely firmly on Execration side, you know, after taking down 2 towers before minute 10.
Two towers, basically completely shutting down jabs despite being in a 2 versus 2 lane. Tino coming out pretty well, and Shanks better than both offlaners as he did yesterday. He will do so today again, and he's got that Noxious Plague to gank with. 10-minute rune, third rune consecutively now for Lewis. It's been a shield, it was an invis, and now a haste rune. This one, the most lethal of all three, Winter.
Yeah, if they can steal the stack, it is ruined. Where is the Darkseid coming back, you know, from the game, you know? this Darkseid seems like he's gonna be down in the gutter for the rest of the game. He's gonna lose his stacks.
Seriously.
And now...
Wow.
I mean, and now pretty much Execration has at least 60-70% of the map to farm, you know, after killing... They killed all the tier 1 towers already. So this is going to be a challenge, you know, for Boom to try to break out of this stranglehold. You know, they need to smoke. They're going to smoke right now with Conquer and the Phoenix. They have to find a pick-off right now. It doesn't matter who are they going to run into. Any kill is worth a lot at the moment.
They do have a boat, and they have an X. Shanks, he's going to be initiated on. Okay, he's turning with that Noxious Plague. Tino taking this opportunity to make the jump back on in, but Shanks he lives, Winter, on less than 20 HP. He doesn't go down. Oh, Mel trying to TP away. He will be allowed to leave, so it's a swing and a miss from Boom. Oh no, but they will lose a kill.
Oh boy.
Done well, victim to the haste rune of Lewis. No outrunning that one.
I mean, that was a level 1 Witch Doctor heal that kind of kept the Venom alive a little bit, you know. He healed him for...
And the cornucopia.
Yeah,
5 HP regen.
He healed him for maybe like 20, 30 HP, but that was just enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Seriously, everything coming in together there. Underneath the tower as well for that little bit of bonus armor and HP regen. I mean,
that was very,
so
very unfortunate for Boom. They couldn't get the kill there. That was so huge. Now the lead goes up to 3k, and things are going to feel claustrophobic, you know, for Boom right now. They're gonna feel the stress, you know, of the map being small. Execration making a move this time with the Witch Doctor and the Void Spirit. Witch Doctor has his ulti up.
Look at this. They can kill him. And you know what? My God, they're right. With this Death Ward, it's pretty good damage here. This Maledict into the level 2 Sunray heal. I'm not sure if it's enough, Winter. I think he's dead.
For the last one. He's dead. Oh my God.
Oh.
Level 4 Maledict with more practice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like this build a lot. I really commend CML for his flexibility on this Witch Doctor build. I think we've also seen him go for more points in Voodoo Restoration at times, right?
Top tower.
Yeah, he leaves his stun at level 1. I think that's probably the way to go with this hero, because they nerf the...
Oh my God. Oh my God, there's an Orchid. The Aether Remnant perfectly connecting. Jackie, hey, I mean, he's tanky. He's got a lot of strength to morph into.
Yeah, he's gonna survive.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the build right now is, I think, to just leave the stun at level 1, because they nerfed the subsequent points in the paralyzing cast from Witch Doctor, but they made the level 1 point really good. So I think right now, this is probably the best build, to keep it at level 1, and then you just max your heal. And meanwhile, bot lane, another catch.
Smart, this would be a big kill on the Palos, and they will eventually get the job done, and a lot of magic damage. Another quick Maledict, though. Tim's doing his best to fight through this, but he is only a support CK. That was Supernova committed as well. Zhao is not going to really change the outcome of that fight.
Still,
a kill on the carry. At least it's good to see he's got level 6.
Boom's going to be happy. Sure, you traded your Supernova, but it was worth it. Now, on the other hand, the 40-minute Wisdom Shrines, they don't have the egg to kind of contest it, you know, so they're probably going to lose it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks that way. You can see Shanks on the jungle Venno coming out to claim this territory. Instead, Boom, they will try and smoke to this other side of the map. It may be promising here. Lewis is here alone, but he's got an Arcane Rune, Winter. He's going to have a lot of charges. Oh, no, and a regen. All right, well, they're going to kick things off here. Let's see if they can get the job done. Armel does not have a boat, but he does have a Blade Mail. Lewis, will he be able to live through this? He's going to save the regen rune for now, but did commit 2 Spirit Siphons there. Nice catch by Tim.
He doesn't die, though. If he could react initially with the regen rune, he might be able to tank through everything and switch his traits to strength. That's a chance. I think he could survive. But decides not to do anything. He wants to save it.
Right. a long stun there. You know, there's a little bit of randomness on this casino night, right? The Chaos Bolt, I think, was a long stun. It looked at least 2 seconds to me. That makes a big difference here. Yeah, right? Looked like a pretty long stun. Perfectly timed with the torrent.
Yeah, that was a much needed kill for Boom. And right now, Palos back to farming after dying that one time. Echo Saber SMY with the shard soon. Probably gonna get the shard first to increase his farming potency. But the DP wants to fight. He is still ready to rock, you know, itching for a fight with the EXO right now, ready. It's gonna be a challenge for them to kill the Morphling. They kind of need to time their stuns along with the silence from the DP. Now she has 1 point in the silence. So they definitely have the tools to kill off Morphling. And the
Well, he's
on
not a
Shanks.
Manta.
Yeah.
We can dispel one of those. Oh, and Palos.
Oh, they're gonna fight
on in, actually.
It's gonna be big.
There's the first silence. The control's perfect. They apply the Maledict. Jackie, he's going to get up to the high ground,
no,
though. Death Ward's not going to find him. That's the Manta style difference.
He tried to stun the illusions to stun the real hero there on the Witch Doctor, but he couldn't get it in time. So Jackie escapes with his life. The tower, on the other hand, is going to take a bunch of damage here.
It is, but it's a level 1 Exo only, so they have an opportunity to defend this. Hype is ready to go as well, freshly completed by Jabs. They have Supernova, but just no real great opportunity to find a fight here.
Yeah, the pipe is going to be a huge deal. Just look at the heroes, right? Venom, Tiny, then there's the Maledict from Witch Doctor, the DP Spirit Cypher, and it doesn't block the EXO. CK gonna get found. Teams gets a long stun, so he should be fine. And he's building an Atos, you know, on the CK right now. He has a null to give him some mana sustain, and he's just trying to play the map as a CK and pushing out the waves. You know, he's so far. His job is pushing out lanes and forcing the enemy to not group up. You know, not the best job to delegate to a CK, but because of how badly the early game went, he's stuck at, you know, dishwashing duty right now.
Very true. Yeah, he's kind of just left to mop up the lanes where he can. He's not the worst hero at it. I mean, and you got Darks here who's able to do so pretty effectively now.
He's definitely not the worst. With Phantasm, you can kind of push out waves.
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't have a single point in Chaos Strike, so it's not pushing very fast, but the illusions do, of course, some damage there.
Yeah, definitely the game is slowing down a little. Boom is going to be happier about the game slowing down compared to Execration. Execration wants to be running at them, wants to be pressuring. But they have the level 2 EXO now, with Aghanim's completed. And which talent has he gone for? So he went for the attack speed on the DP. Sometimes you see magic resist if you feel like you could get bursted at level 10, but with the traits and the attack speed, it actually synergizes really well with the Aghanims, right? So every time you right click, every time you use a spell, there'll be ghosts flying out. So you do a lot of damage with this build.
Yeah, Jackie is the one who goes for that level 10 magic resist talent. He's got that plus 15% alongside his Vlads. He's slowly but surely becoming a bit more relevant in this game. I'm not sure if he's going to love running into this many heroes. Well, actually, it's the initiation first on a CML with the boat to follow up to chase Lewis out of the fight. CML is dead.
Look at the damage from Hotspot.
X-Mark and the hotspot Supernova put down on the wrong side of the fight, though. Jabs, he's living a long time thanks to that pipe. Eventually, he's going to go down as Tino, a victim here to the stolen toss out of Jackie. Okay. In they go again, chasing for more. Jackie morphing back into Palos. Palos finds a 4-man avalanche, though. That's pretty meaty, but he just lacks the damage. All of a sudden, boom, it looks like potentially a 1-for-5 trade. Morphling shows up to fight. Morphling shows up with this Vlads. He shows up big in this game as Jackie with an ultra kill. This could be the turning point, Winter.
Yeah, the Morphling power spike with the Manta, and also, like you mentioned, the magic resist at level 10 help him survive. I mean, Palos right at the end, I think he made the right play by turning around. He almost got 2 kills there, like just turning around to fight with the avalanche around the Roche pit. But, you know, gotta give credit to Boom, you know, they found the right fight. And you see the hotspot, you know, from Jano on the Sunray coming into play, doing a ton of damage to DP, you know, probably regretting not having the magic resist talent there, you know, because he was very close to surviving, you know.
1,300 damage, by the way. You're about to see this
Yeah, you see
DP really
the
melt.
Sunray, you
You're
know,
absolutely
look at the
right.
Sunray just melting the DP, you know? Like, he just basically died to Sunray.
Took close to 3,500 damage in that fight. Literally half of it from Sunray. That's how that breakdown looks for him. And then with the Witch Doctor also going down early, it means you don't have that Maledict in this fight. You already don't have the DP. All you can do is turn tail and try and run.
Yeah, good try there by Palace in the end. But it wasn't to be. And boom, find a huge fight. Here with Jackie getting 4 kills here. Now he is going to build into his Hurricane Pike, so he has more ways to kite around because he doesn't want to be next to the DP. Nobody wants to be next to the DP. She's just going to kill you.
Oh, hold on. We're going to see some Twin Gate shenanigans. Oh, Tim's thinks better of it.
Does he
Glad.
know? Like, seems like he knows something's going
I
on.
don't think he knows.
Now he's going to die. No.
Oh, maybe he was waiting for the courier. Now he's going to go through. Okay, minus 75 mana each time you do that. Oh, okay.
Does he actually know?
Maybe he knows, honestly. He's just trying to bait him. Just look, CML's like, come on, man. Oh, did it again? No, don't tell me. I think he knows, bro. You can't really see his face, but we can see his eyes.
Mark, you know, Torrentor's top. He knows something's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Then she's kind of debating a little bit. And guess what? That means he can safely claim his 21-minute Wisdom Shrine. 20 seconds of just pump faking that thing. Nice job.
Yeah, game has stabilized for Boom right now. Jackie is farming uncontested. They're gonna get his Hurricane Pike in a bit, but they're deciding to smoke with the Radiance Blade Mail timing of Armel. Darkseid has a Vanguard now, Crimson on the way, so they're about to hit a couple of really big timings here on the Boom side. I mean, level 12 as well on Phoenix in a little bit, which would be very helpful in the team fights.
Definitely that level 2 egg for the damage. Zhao's been really patient on this, on the eggs. I suspect that as soon as he gets the shard online, we'll start to see some more aggressive
the shard is going to destroy. Because Sunray is the main weapon in the team fight, you know? But he's getting... What the hell? He's actually getting... He's queuing a lens over the shard?
So that will actually buff the damage with the facet, by the way. As I recall, this is just like a damage amp. Yeah, so Sunray length beyond 1200 will result in more than 160% damage and healing. That's how that works. You have to
you're talking about the lens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, like, the shot, I feel like the shot is higher impact than the lens. Yeah,
I hear you.
Because you use it twice.
I hear you.
I don't really agree with this decision, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, shot is also cheaper, you know, than Ada lens.
That's true. Build up is nice on Aether lens, but you're absolutely correct.
The slow can be useful. What, 10% slow or something? That's like slight slow on the shot.
Yes, that's correct. 10% slow. No, I think you're... I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it does have a little bit of utility. Maybe they're hoping to really make it count.
Yeah, you know what the Aether lens actually just really gives you. Maybe that's what he values, is the cast range on your items. Maybe he wants to be able to use his vessel better. That could be a reason as well.
Yeah, some good vessel targets this game, that's for sure. And this DP is building a BKB, so that window is kind of closing here already. 500 gold away, but you're completely right.
Actually, needs a couple of camps more to clear. You get the BKB, but it's going to be a huge timing. There's no rush. They don't really want to fight into the Morphling with Aegis right now. Tiny is not ready.
Yeah, and how do I wanted to ask Winter, like, how do you, if you're Execration, kind of grab control back in this game? Hold that thought, actually. I'll give you some time to think about
definitely
it.
Not by losing your carry.
Well, that would be a bad start, I reckon. But he's got a Glimmer Cape. There are supports rotating to the tier 1 tower. It looks like Boom are not as... Well, I say that, but here comes Jackie. They just wanted to fight with Jackie. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Jackie is very strong. He is feeling it right now.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I think the Tiny against Morphling matchup, it never gets easier, you know, for the Tiny. It just gets harder and harder, you know. So if the game is staying stagnant right now, both sides are trading farm, I don't think you can be too happy if you're Execration. I mean, I'm not sure how the DP and Void Spirit scale against Morphling late game against their Tricore, Darkseer, Morphling, and the Kanka. But I have a feeling that it's probably going to be better for Boom in the late game stages of this one here. So they're going to be happy at playing a slower pace game, trading farm, looking for kills, playing the map, going into the macro game, and now we have the Brooch on Palace, which is a very effective item against a high armor target like Morphling, because you can bypass that with the Brooch. But at the same time, he is also very vulnerable to the Vessel and the Sunray, you know, in the team fights without BKB. So that is what worries me a lot. And also the miss chance, right? Don't forget about the miss chance. You don't really get to hit much, you know, I think, if the Phoenix is just using Sunray on you.
Right, because of the Phoenix innate, right? This blinding sun. Exactly. Those stacks build up pretty quickly, especially if you have a shard. So that's maybe another reason why you might consider that. Did that say 20 camps stacked, by the way? Is that what I just saw? It's wild. Holy moly. The recovery from Boom, I mean, that's how you get back into a game that looks tough. 3 camps stacked by a Jungle Veno, by the way. That's going to be a result of all those early wards and all that early pressure. No, for real, that's very significant. I think that's a real stat.
I mean, you don't get to stack jungle when you have a level 1 jungling Veno, yeah.
Yeah, well, true, but normally he stacks for himself, right? And that would be reflected in that stat. Careful here. Tino, okay, he's got an Acceptor. He does have that Acceptor. Needs to be careful not to get caught out there, though, by that level 10 Reality Rift fast range talent.
An easy high ground to go up on.
It's not.
Oh, this is going to be a long ride, Richie.
I think so.
It's fitting, you know, we end the series with a long one. After all the heartbreak that we went through the last couple of days. And now we get to close it out the right way, you know.
All right.
A fitting way.
We've had 2 45-minute games-ish, 45 and 47. And I think you're right. This one, it's going to be dramatic. It's going to be drawn out. It's like a K-drama, you know, where they do slow motion at the end.
I was going to say something more violent, but sure. If you want to go down the K-drama route. The slow, there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of heartache, you know. The prince shows up late, the girl leaves on a boat, and she's thinking about him. And he tries to go through the dock in the last moment. The guard stops him. And he jumps down the river and he swims towards her arms. And they unite on the boat. And the show ends.
Except this one, it's more like Titanic. There's only room for one on this boat. You move on to face Talon, you know?
I mean, if Conker gets a refresher, there'll be 2 boats.
That's true, dude. Dude, they should bring back the Ghost Fleet. Tell you what.
No, they should bring back Torrent stuff.
No, they should definitely not bring that back. That one can stay. That one can stay dead. I don't agree with that one here. But a bit of a lull. I think now we're bound to see a bit more action here, Winter. Jackie, he's about to pick up this next key item, just a few more camps, and that butterfly is online.
Well, you know what happened the last time when he got butterfly? He threw the game.
He died immediately. He died literally in the first fight by wave forming into a sonic wave and a roar.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
his team roared.
This game, he is playing into a lot of like silence, stuns, you know, from Tiny, stuns from Witch Doctor. You could die easily, you know, if you make a mistake without BKB.
That's true. That is true. Does he have any saves yet? Not quite. No big saves.
I mean, if you consider Pipe a save.
No, not
Sunray
really, right?
Save.
I would consider like a Phoenix Ags a save, you know? Oh, that's not ready yet. Butterfly's about to be delivered. Will Boom consider poking the high ground here with Butterfly? They may have to just get Execration back off the map.
This is what happened last time, right? He got Butterfly, he went up the high ground and he died.
That is true, actually. That is really true.
Will Lightning strike twice, Richie?
No, because last time he was on the Radiant side and it was a bottom tier 3 siege. This time, it's the opposite way, so it's got to go right. That's science, I believe.
Science? Or the laws of probability?
Well, one of the two of those. Either way, he's not going to make the mistake this time around. He's instead going to back up and will continue in this kind of holding pattern of farming. But Execration, you can see that they were mostly forced back. The only hero still out on the map at the moment is Palos. I think he's got something on his courier, and he does. It's a full BKB ready to go. He's bought out for this one. Roshan spawns as quick as in a minute. Could be another 3 after. Because we're seeing these Phantasm illusions from Tim's just being used for scouting.
Wait, who does that benefit? Okay, it probably benefits Boom, right? If he moves to the bottom side.
Yeah. It's going to spawn
definitely
bottom
better for
guaranteed.
Boom.
Well, it might spawn top, but then he's basically going to walk bottom immediately.
Yeah. No, it's going to go bot. For sure. It's 40 seconds till it spawns. It's going to be bottom
of course.
for sure.
Yes. Pardon me. I don't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Completely right.
Yeah, it's difficult to do math, right? Too early for you. 4 p.m. is still too early.
Yeah, sometimes. It's a little too early for me. You know, I've only had my first coffee. Here we go, though. Execration not keen to give up this positioning as there's the jump onto ML. Trying to force the BKB here.
Nope, no commitment. Boom, trying to back off. You're thinking about the last game where all the team fights are haunting them.
Another silence. The wall of replica drops down. BP throws the silence from the side. We're looking at a lot of EKBs in this fight. 2 for Execration. Only 1 right now online for RML.
Almost pulling back to the high ground there on Tino. That was close, you know. Boom, very, very patient, you know. Not committing, just poking and prodding, using their long range spells. They're way more careful this time.
Okay, Lewis with an illusion rune bottled. So he's got an additional dispel to work with, Winter. That may come in handy if they fight within the next minute and a half.
I wanna see a bait with the illusion. I don't want to see a basic dispel. Send your illusion
that'd be a move. All right. So now the DP shows top lane. Still Boom. They don't make a move into the pit.
Oh yeah, he has shot by the way.
did, by the way. He did go back for shard, as our observers just keen to point out.
Some may say this is the best shot in Dota right now.
Pretty good. Yeah.
There's a lot of like really good shots, and there is like kind of some really terrible ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Veno shard's really good too, to be honest. Veno, if the Venomous Gale's dispelled it anyway, you apply a debuff piercing stun for 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, we have some pretty good ones this game, but everything is building up to this moment. Roshan has returned to Dota, and both teams are going to be wanting to pay him a visit very soon. And Roshan says he only does meetings with a first come first serve basis, and who is going to get into the booking spot right now? Who is going to make a reservation first? Lewis has an Arcane, so he's very keen.
Yeah. I think Boom will be too. There's the BKB delivered for Jackie. That is BKB 3 of 3 for all of their cores. All 3 of them, I believe, Winter, with a 9-second BKB. Now, we are looking at a lot of physical damage still, of course, for Execration, so it's not a completely one fight.
Illusions.
But it'll be scary.
Let's bait with the illusions. This is the power of the CK. You run in, you scout, you get vision. Things are getting tense right now for both sides. Neither wanting to give up an inch here in this Roshan area.
Lewis, positioned in these trees, kind of tucked away. Okay, he's going to reveal himself now with the Crypt Swarm, with the stuns thrown first onto Shanks. There's the initiation. Wow, Palos immediately bursts through Tim's, but Tim's going to buy back. The back wall onto 2. They've caught Tino, but he gets out to dissemblate before he jumps back in again. He's dead instantly. He's got buyback. CML dying to the wall of replica illusions. He's got to retreat now, but with Voodoo Restoration, he'll be okay. Lewis, look at the physical damage. Gets out that exorcism here, holds on to that BKB, does not force a BKB charge out of any of these heroes, but Palos looking for the instant dieback, and he's got it. He's got it immediately down. A tidal wave. That's going to force the BKB now for Lewis. Jackie and RML. BKB in response as Jackie running down this tiny Palos. He's going to go down. Tino doing as much damage as he can, but CML's down. And Jackie, he's killing them all. Tino, what can you do off of the buyback, my friend? It looks like not a whole lot as Jackie pumps him full of lead. An ultra kill for the Morphling. The patience pays off here for Boom. They will be rewarded at least with Roshan and a very firm foothold in game number 3.
Yeah, that is one of the best team fights I've seen from Boom yesterday and today, for sure. They baited really well with the CK. He had buyback. He was ready to die twice for the team. And once they kind of took the initial fight, I think they backed off a little bit together to kind of disengage and pull them into a corner. That's when the Egg and Sunray came out and Jackie stood his ground with the BKB and killed them all, you know. I think that was really, really well done by Boom. Dragging the fight away, you know, from the initial engagement and forcing the enemy into a disadvantageous terrain position. Here you see teams going in. He knows he has buyback. They jumped in. They kill him. He buys back. Morphling is standing his ground. There's a decent vacuum by Jabs there, pulling them into the wall. Morphling, unfortunately, there with the Gale Guard doesn't finish off CML, and the mech kind of saves him. But here they were really disciplined. They backed off together. They retreated towards the high ground here. You see they're running back. They don't overcommit here. They run back. They see the Exo pop. But CK kind of dies again, so he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But they all back off together, and the egg here defensively placed with the Sunray kind of turn everything around. It means that they can't touch the Morphling here with the heals. And yeah, I mean, once Palace dies, it means the fight is going to be over, for Execration. So boom, well executed team fight, and deservingly in control of this deciding game, of who gets to go forward and face Talon in the final match.
This is getting tense now for Execration. Yesterday, they demolished TFG with this kind of jungle Veno strat, in control of all the game. Winter, you were especially wowed by that game. This time, though, boom, with the counter plays, play it patient, slow roll them a little bit here to get all their items online, and look how that's paid off here for Jackie. He's doing so much. What is he? 8-0-3 at the moment. He's showed up to 2 fights and he's gotten 8 kills. That is, wow. Giga Chad carry behavior right there.
He is in fact the strongest hero in the game. So his team has given him so much space, Eventually you have to utilize the space and repay the faith your team has placed on you. Be that solid, reliable carry.
And at this stage, there's so much to back you up as well, right? All the Darkseer auras, the Shard level
Sunray,
2.
I think Sunray is an important one here, backing him up. Because it not only protects him, but if the Tiny is standing in front there, he's going to die to the Sunray.
They're gonna miss.
And
they miss those auto tests. They just don't hit egg very well, do they? This team, a toss back though. Jackie, Manta style. Oh, the back wall. It catches 4 heroes, but CML letting loose on the Death Ward. It's still not enough damage. And now with the Crimson Guard, the auras, the Sunray Supernova, Lewis, he can do nothing. He's gonna go down. The Supernova's gonna pop. That's Shanks as well, as Jackie just jumps the backliners. He's deleted 3 heroes. He will lose that Aegis, Winter, but it's a 2 versus 5. What hope do they have? They don't have any tier 2s.
Yeah, the sun is unfortunately setting on the Execration side. Hope is going away, like the light leaving the Radiant side right now. I mean, they see this Morphling, they click on him, he still has BKB. What do you actually do on the Morphling?
Still has Satanic. You saw BKB on Darkseer. They have been so restrained on the BKB usages. Boom Esports absolutely locking in here in Game 3, and now they know there is no buybacks. The Glyph of Fortification is out. You have no Death Prophet for 30 seconds. There's going to be a toss back, trying to make a play. Nice setup there into the 8th Remnant. They get a silence with Morphling. He is not scared of you. Forces the BKB out from Palos as the supporting staff. They will respawn. 15 seconds to try and hold, but Megas, they are inevitable. Boom. What will they do now? It's a vacuum onto 3 heroes and the tidal wave into the boat. CML, he is still alive here somehow thanks to the Voodoo Switch True, but Jackie now picks up a triple. Tino cannot stand his ground. They try and fight for the Megas. They try and fight for a way back into this game. But the hope, it's leaving here for Execration. Boom Esports locking in for Game 3, and they will not be leaving the high ground. Not without destroying this Ancient. Here we go, Jabs, BKB, Lewis, he makes the jump into the vacuum, into the torrent. Lewis is actually still alive here, but how can they possibly win the fight, Winter? It's impossible. Jackie is godlike. Jackie will be sending Execration out of